Every Thursday, the scene is set in the realm of thoughts where minds are met. They're the thinkers with brains on the brink. Every Thursday, they're doing a thing with that darn Tate as the fearless lead that fought through by her side. They plant the seed with Dorcas guiding through dungeons deep, and Grey Coupe spreads it on steep. He knows blood strokes like magic in the air. Depressed Hydra's expertise beyond compare. Charles manages the box office with grace, while other guests add to the lively space. In a world of thoughts where minds collide, the thinkers gather their wits as their guide. From deep contemplation to laughter's embrace, every Thursday is their special place.
Nice. I love that. I jam out every time. Oh, hey, you've got it.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Hey. How's it going?
Uh-huh.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
It's
Oh,
way simpler
yes.
than I thought it would be. So, yeah, good times.
That is wild.
So did you do this, or did Rosales do it?
Sadly, I did. So Rosales kind of got me into it. Well, Andrew kind of pushed me, but Rosales gave me this Giphy, and it's like, okay, that'll be perfect. But I found out PNG is so much easier. I just needed 4 pictures, and I could make it, trigger to my voice. So
Cool.
it's inspired by Andrew and Rosales. But yeah, sadly, I just made 4 PNGs. But just cutting out my hair.
I love that. And
Yeah,
also
good
you're
times.
dancing the whole time. You're just
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, he's
You got
working
me.
out the whole time. He's working out the whole time. It's just come
He's
on, boys.
getting those 10,000 steps in, okay?
Oh, you
Yeah.
gotta get them in where you can.
Every day, let's go. Left, right.
Yeah.
Left, right.
And it's great. Okay, so now we need Hydra
Yeah.
to have. Oh, geez, Hydra would have to change. How many PNGs
Different
does
heads?
Hydra need? Yeah,
it's-
'cause-
You
Yeah.
seriously
Would be
need
difficult.
4, and that's it. Like mouth open, mouth closed, and then
Eyes
a
open,
variation with your
eyes
eyes
closed.
open, eyes closed on both.
don't have eyes.
Yeah, it's
better.
pretty easy.
You could mirror the 2 on the side, and the top one wouldn't need to have its face animated. But yeah,
No,
Yeah.
they all need
Other
animation.
one. But-
even
and
when you
you're-
won't see it because of the forehead.
No, you.
The literal
when you-
forehead, the head before, and in the foreground, the forehead.
What
Well,
does
you
the
could have-
forehead do? It could be
Right,
for a certain
so-
emotion, like it escalates.
Exactly. You can actually have different, like me, where I've got the different emotions, right?
Mhm.
And you can have different heads showing different emotions at different times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bimo
You
came
get
up
all
that
fancy
idea,
with
I
it.
remember.
And then there's just me and Charles with our plain old faces that work the way normal faces do.
Yeah.
Yours might.
Mine plain old, yeah. I can't help but think Gray has to pee and is holding it in.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
I mean, it's a factor.
Nice. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, I
Just
can
go for,
stop
like-
dancing if that would help everyone. I gotta move, man.
I
Rhythm.
set it to a gentle sway.
Yeah.
That
fuck
is
you,
not
gentle
a
sway.
gentle fucking sway, okay? No,
I
that
don't give a shit.
especially not
Oh,
compared
Gray,
to
Gray
that
is
is
gonna,
mine.
he's gonna fight.
Mine
that
is
is
a
a
He's
three-word
fighting with
help
you. Look,
sway.
look,
Oh,
he's
now I'm
fighting you.
swaying as well.
No, he's fighting you. Look, he's facing you.
Oh, I
Come on,
see,
bring
I
it.
see.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
needs to add in the health bars and whatnot, yeah.
Floats like
Yeah.
a mayo jar, sings like a toupee.
What?
Ah, there you go.
What? Oh, that's lovely. That was a great intro. I'm glad that was a surprise. Did I just not notice because I was too busy
No.
No,
No,
I
it wasn't
flipped it
wrong.
on during the intro.
during the intro?
Yeah.
Yeah, that intro is.
Surprise
And
us all.
guys, Dorcas is in absentia. He sent us some cheese emojis.
He is with us in
We miss you,
spirit,
sir.
in the form
With
of a
little
pixelated
marshmallows.
cat. Yes.
Oh,
Guys
those
are-
marshmallows.
Yeah.
What?
They each have 2 marshmallows on the side.
That's a hand.
Apparently, it's a
Oh.
cheese dance emote.
All right.
Emote. Yeah.
I'm too old for this. I don't even see it anymore. But
My
that
boomer
is
status
just-
shows itself at times.
Listen, did you ever do this? Hold on, I'll show you. I'll put it in both chats. I'm sure someone like okay, so it was basically speaking of boxes, it'll work very nicely.
For a moment, I thought you were about to dance yourself and show us how the cheese
No.
dances.
No,
Because
no.
for a second, it looked like you pushed your chair back,
Yes.
like you were about to stand up. I'm like, this is how the cheese.
Did you guys
I-
ever do this?
I just see a queue.
No, it's a little
Oh,
guy.
I see it. I see it. It's the yeah. I
And
see
then
it.
you would
Oh, I
have
see it.
you would have the
It's
this.
an emoji with its fists up. It's an
Yeah,
fists
yeah,
up,
yeah.
with boxing gloves.
Oh yeah.
Got
Okay.
it.
The P,
Okay.
I did
the one
the
with the
P
P is
one
not that good.
differently.
No, that's
Yeah,
don't
I
think
didn't do
that's
it properly.
good.
I didn't do it properly. I did it wrong. It's supposed to
Oh.
have. It's supposed to be like this: P, and then
Colin.
the face, and then that there we go, like that. So he's going like this. So yeah, that's how I learned the no board. That's a new thing. Okay, that one's
Yeah, that one's like next level.
For those of you listening, we're just shorting out our keyboards here and showing it on screen.
Yes.
We're making emoticons, not emojis. Emoticons.
Pardon.
I saw a whole post about them today, and made me very nostalgic. And that's how I learned how to type, is in chat rooms. That's basically it. So that in the chat room, you would go and put the little
So
guy.
you
one
need
going
a
like
new
this,
keyboard.
and then the other guy going like this. Me, I need a new keyboard.
Yeah, Blaine did a keyboard building stream. You need a keyboard building stream.
But I did
Possibly
build my.
Charles
Oh wait, no.
needs a keyboard building
Did I?
stream.
Did I do my building on stream, or was it just on
You
Discord?
did. You did.
Oh.
It was on Twitch.
Oh, okay. We did it.
Yeah, I was there.
Anywho.
It was like in the middle of the night for me. It was like
But he
midnight
was
or
so
11
excited. And the
11
thing is,
p.m.
because he got this for me, this the kitty cats.
The keyboard and the keycaps. Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, you need another one. He's the worst gift giver. He's like, oh, this gift that I gave you, you need to get another thing. Like, you're done with
I
it.
wouldn't
Like,
call
no,
that
I'm
the
very-
worst gift giver who is just
Like,
like, here,
well,
have another gift.
He's
Okay.
illogical. No, he's not like, here, I have another gift. He's like, the gift that I gave you, yeah, it's fine, but let's get another one. Like, you can get another. It's not that, no, he's going to get me.
I still don't see how that's a bad gift giver. Okay.
It's a bad gift giver because he what's the name?
I mean, like, what is it? Like a
Because
drug
he want-
dealer?
he
I
does-
give you the first hit for free.
Yes, exactly. So he wants me to continue, but I can't be satisfied with just this one. Oh, Lucifer! Yes. Good morning, all my favorite people and Hydra. Yo.
Hello, everyone.
Did you get he insulted you?
Yes, I know.
No,
Oh,
Boris,
hey.
thank you.
So, Greg,
But Lucifer,
one of your emotions could be like, what is it?
For Lucifer? Okay.
Waving.
Yeah. What if I wave with one of my heads?
There you go.
Hello. Yeah. I didn't expect it from Lucifer, by the way, but well, I guess we know his true feelings are all unearthed here on the internet. He wasn't man enough to say it up to my face when we were in a call. He resorted to name calling in chat, onto my faces. Yes, absolutely.
Hello, Miss K.
What is Galvin talking about?
Buying jeans online is the worst, strangest form of gambling. It's a gamble because you're like, oh,
this yeah, I see why.
And then you
And then
look
it's a
at the
gamble.
measurement things, and you're just like, okay, I am within these measurements, and then but it's still a gamble because, yeah.
Even two of them from like the same manufacturer, the same cut are different. Like it's weird. Denim is a gamble.
Listen, your pain or pales in comparison to mine. Okay, I was a kid in Europe growing up, and when I was forced to buy from American jean companies back when like every second person in the US was fat. My pain was immeasurable, and even with a belt, it wasn't manageable at all. It was horrendous. It
Now
took
it's every
sometimes
person's
5 hours or more to find a jean that was not big enough to fit another kid in front of me into the same jean. It was horrible. Okay.
I've ruined my.
I feel
That
your
wasn't an
pain,
insult.
but-
Sure, Lucifer, sure. Okay, we now know
Yeah,
your
Lucifer.
untethered feelings for me, okay? You
So
have been exposed once and for all.
today's topics.
Are you hosting the Oscars? Why do you have 16 outfit changes since you've been on?
Possible?
No one said this couldn't be a fashion show. Okay?
Yes, exactly. Oh yes, and we need to do a bingo card. Where is Cameron? We need to do a bingo card for thinkers tonight. So, I mean, on my stream, changing outfit was a bingo thing, but we need to come up with our own bingos for everybody. So like Gray.
I don't think we should do it. I think it should be the audience needs to, right?
Yeah.
The audience.
I mean, Hydra
like,
Rant is
hacking
like a
different
free
stuff.
space.
Yeah.
Scuff is usually a free space. Charles just goes to the bathroom. I mean, that's.
I pee myself. Thank you very much. I'm just.
It's
I'm
harder
just
for
Gray
him
from the
because
bottom
it's not
down.
as easy as for me or Gray to tell, or even Foxtrue when they are away. But Charles just literally walks out of the picture, so it's very easy to tell.
And with Foxtrue's new avatar, we don't get like his cat spazzing out. That would have been one.
I know.
Yeah,
I like-
we no longer have to fear that he has suddenly suffered
was
a
the best
seizure on stream.
It was.
Like,
It
come back
was.
to me.
But
Okay,
you know
so
what? I don't regret like having fun with that, but I do regret spending so much time trying to get a model for that. When I realized that I could have spent the same time and same amount of money actually getting a this type of thing or
Mhm.
this type of model up and running way faster, way easier.
Gray, we can see whatever
yeah.
that setting panel is.
You're
I just want
sharing
to let
the
you
video.
know that
You're
you are
sharing
your
your
audio tinkering
magic.
on stream. Yeah.
Look,
No.
Rosales, look how Gray is buffing
So-
and weaving.
So Gray,
I was going
What?
to try and slow the movement, but okay, I'll do that later, or I'll take my PNG off to
So-
do that.
No, don't do
Okay.
that.
what-
Yeah, Rosales, you inspired this, sir. He sent a great.
That you inspired this, sir. It had a surprising amount of sting in it. Like, yes, you. Oh shit, he's
Well,
gone.
sorry, that one. So this is the one that Rosales did, and it's amazing, but I couldn't
It
get
goes
it
like
like set to actual motion.
Why
And
is it
sorry, this
so-
one's trippy.
What's
Yeah,
geek
it's
stupid?
AI. It's a good question. It's what AI thinks I am. So I tried with a couple Giphies, and I couldn't quite get it, but PNG is very easy. So yeah.
Bumping and weaving.
Oh, there we go.
When I have nightmares about Gray, the Geet one is the version I see it in my dreams.
Yeah, it's nightmare inducing.
If Dorcas was here, he would create a Geet profile picture and be
The
that.
way the hair is
Next
just like
time.
flowing constantly.
Gosh, beautiful. So when Gray is angry or something, he can transform into that. It's like a soul form or something. Yeah. So what we're gonna go over today, it's very pop culture-y today, I think. Well, except for the Destiny versus Tate, although I haven't watched it yet. Hydra can fill us in on that. So that was the reason I put that one in. It was the
Yes.
first topic that we went. Then there's Pop
did you
Tart
put
thing.
in? Yeah. So it fits gaming things. It fits. Never mind. Keep going.
Yeah, no, the hashtags in the description have all the topics properly out. Like gaming things is all of the stuff. There's a lot of games that people were talking about during the week, so we can go over that. And then gaming things includes Pokemon things. So yeah, it's all
Always.
Okay, so let us Lucifer being 6 foot with a 30-inch waist finding jeans challenge. Oh, look at these
That would
tall
suck.
people talking in the chat.
6
Okay,
feet is tall.
That's
If you're
what-
going for 30-inch
I'm like-
waist, that's not too common.
I'm
I'm
too,
like,
too
come on,
European
Bob,
for this. I
put
always
something.
have to Google how much is that. Hold on, 6 feet.
Not
Oh,
average.
yeah,
Everybody-
yeah. In real measurements, we go inches, but I understand.
I
Now,
have a
in real,
32-inch
no,
waist.
no. In real
Sorry.
measurements, we go to the moon. Okay, centimeter allowed us to visit every planet in the solar system. Okay, You don't get to shit on centimeters.
You don't. So catch up time. Well, we were gonna do the Pokemon stuff in catch up time, but Hydra has news.
Oh, there are a lot of different things, but I'm gonna leave the Tate stuff for later then, because that's a separate segment. We
Yes.
have
Later.
some interesting murmurings. First of all, we have the recently the Trump court case has been picking up, where they are going to hear his plea for absolute immunity. Which is an interesting philosophical question that as a discussion that's very deep that I don't want to go into. But the funny thing that has occurred is that his lawyers have unironically argued that he should be able to assassinate political rivals without being persecuted at all. Now, I am willing to entertain the idea of like, hey, maybe you should give total immunity for the duration of the presidency or whatever, but this is a terrible argument to use. And well, let's just say if Joe Biden wasn't a zombie and had balls, he could have done something very funny right about now. But some argumentation and the quality of the conversation has only degraded ever since, instead of actually touching on the interesting parts of like, hey, how should presidential immunity be handled if there should be any at all? Instead, they would much rather have the more extremist discussion of either Trump is a dictator who needs to be arrested and punished and publicly executed immediately, or actually he done nothing wrong and he should have total immunity and he should be able to do whatever the fuck he wants.
The problem with that argument is, even on its best case, he's not the president right now. So he's basically saying Biden can do whatever he wants right now because
they say so. Even if he succeeds with his argumentation and say all of the stuff I did while president, that kind of broke the law.
Is Trump like soft endorse? Is the Trump defense a soft endorsement of Biden assassinating Trump?
Yeah,
his lawyers.
By proxy, yes. By proxy, that's basically it. If he wins his argument against the Supreme Court, Biden can essentially say, all right, we're not doing an election this year.
Biden can do a drone strike on him if he wins the argument, and it would not be possible to prosecute Biden whatsoever for it if Trump's lawyers win. Which is it's one of the great ironies of the universe. But I'm just still surprised that from the very beginning, when it was from tiny little crimes such as exaggerating the size of property you hold to kind of look better on financial reports and whatever, and you just it didn't exactly happen like this, but tugging on that proverbial little chain, and it just unearths this whole thing about should presidents be able to kill people without repercussions, and even political rivals or anyone. But yes, it is an interesting argument to say that as long as you're a president, you should be allowed to do anything to your political rivals. Something tells me that that kind of breaks democracy, but maybe that's a discussion for later.
No, that's a quite a thing.
We're going to discuss democracy?
Yes, let's have the whole ass.
Part of the argument that Trump's attorneys were saying that if, wow, Gray, all right, was
he's ready.
That if both Senate and Congress vote that he should be impeached, then it's illegal, that's not how that works.
Stupid, but yeah.
So why? So he really thinks he's doing whose idea?
It's just a really bad angle to approach this from.
It's once again Trump surrounding himself with if I'm trying to minimize, if I'm trying to steel man it to the tiniest amount possible, to be as good faith to Trump as possible, I would say he has once again surrounded himself with absolute retards who made these arguments. Like, even if I assume that Trump had nothing to do with this is like the 1000th time that people that are acting on his behalf are completely insane. And he repeatedly chooses all of them. So I have to assume he is somewhat fine with it.
Yeah, I can see him being stupid enough to take this and say that's a good idea. But who the hell suggested it? Is someone being like a plant that is like, yes, this will help you?
It sounds stupid enough that that conspiracy abounds, about like this stupidity having been used for something malicious. Hey, Lucy.
I think he exposed something by approaching politics with this cynical view of things, and it's kudos. He certainly exposed it, but at the same time, it's not a good long term.
Yeah. Like Trump was great for short-term campaigns.
Yes,
when you need to whip up the flames. I have an insanely charismatic personality that is willing to do anything and walk right into the dog shit and then dance around it and talk about, now, what about you? Get fucked, whatever. Like that's this incredibly combative, very hostile personality all the time about everything, being willing to say, actually, everything you believe in is fake and you are the spawn of Satan, and I will argue that unironically in front of everyone. And it's very very fiery, but it's a fire that burns bright and quickly. And once you are on the political defensive and no longer on the offensive, and you have to defend you being in office or you having done things in office, or maybe running for office again once your nation has seen what actually you can accomplish or all the things you promised, it is no longer the optimal approach.
He seems very sensitive about like his ego and things, where I'm like, that is the worst job to have if you're that.
Yeah, like for example, when the judges said like, hey, listen, if you continue behaving like this, we're gonna put a gag order on you, and the response was to go personally after the judge's family and daughter on the internet with shitty things. Like you are asking to be literally gagged, and you are shouting about how free speech this, free speech that. This would work, again, great to whip up popularity from zero up to a campaign, because you could argue about like, see, I'm telling you the truth, I'm being suppressed. But when you have like a long-standing case against you based on what you did as president, etc., this approach is no longer optimal for gaining followers.
All people need to do is watch My Cousin Vinny. He gets arrested like after 2 contempt of courts. He's had 10.
Yeah, no,
there's so much more to learn from that movie too.
I don't want to... But actually, I'm just thinking. Okay, so the reason he continues to do this is because there are people that. Okay, so there's Trump derangement syndrome completely. But there's another kind of thing, which is also Trump derangement syndrome, where they just love everything that he does.
There is also Trump derangement syndrome does exist, where, as we've seen before, where literally everything he says has to be about how he will unleash bloodbath on the United States if he doesn't get his way. We've seen that. But there also exists the other end, where it's the my guy can do no wrong, and he was sent to us by God syndrome, where he is the Messiah, and everything he does is justified because he is the one doing it.
It's funny. It's funny. The two major sides are talking about this being the most important election, and this could be the worst set of choices, even if you include RFK Jr. It is the worst set of choices for an election.
It's just as bad. If you look about what he says and what he does, you Americans are so fucked. Why do you have like the shittiest?
Why do you think I'm in the UK?
It is terrible.
Maybe one of them will cease.
Well, at least there's likable vice presidents
in elderly homes. Okay, your political system is turning into The Walking Dead anyway. So
yeah, it is bizarre how we have like the oldest people running for office like ever. Like we're breaking records, new ground.
Yeah, oldest incumbent president running for president, oldest challenger running for president. Like, let's just break it all.
The House to Congress. It's Glitch McConnell and his kind are also there. I'm frankly just waiting for one of them to really. You can clearly the mental downfall is very easily observable with Biden, because it's very
Biden.
The downturn can be seen clearly, but it's happening to Trump too if you pay attention. Like, despite him retaining the same attitude, as we just talked about, that is no longer the optimal attitude to have in this political situation, you can still see that whenever he's trying to be bombastic fire, it's no longer there as much. Like, he is losing not just his touch, but a little bit of his personality, like not as inspiration anymore, not as charismatic anymore, a little bit. You can a tiny bit see the dip himself, because people forget that just because of all of the, Joe Biden is old memes, Trump is incredibly old as well. And I think it's starting to show on him too, which is bad, because one of his major attraction, and I can't believe this, but one of his major campaign moves is that my opposition is stupid and old.
Who's CP24?
That would be Calvin
exactly.
Packard.
It was blatant self-promotion.
Oh,
That was
a
Okay,
lot of
I'll
mixes there.
add the initial.
questions of
Spoon.
election,
Okay.
election questions. Look, I mean, we know where Spoon stands on the whole election thing.
Yes, we do.
But he still wants to know what you guys think about
Yeah,
what would happen.
I mean, there is something to the president, like inspiring confidence from the people. I think you would have that from maybe not Harris, but I think like two of those other candidates would inspire more confidence. But the actual end result, I don't know. I kind of highly doubt that Biden is making a lot of the decisions that are being made right now. So I don't know.
Find out like immediately. I'd love to find out in any of those cases.
Yeah.
Just you want to find out, yeah.
Yeah, please.
I think that
people have no power in the regime at all. Okay,
yeah.
Spoon.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm
We
trying-
know.
Okay, I'm
I
not
just
going to
have a
go get
question
into that
for
discussion again.
No. You guys don't speak there, Mary. Like, I actually just want to
Okay,
ask Spoon.
okay.
Spoon, are you a dual citizen now still? And are you voting? Because, you know, I want to know. Obviously, I don't think you would be voting. I don't expect you to be
If
voting.
he's
but South
consistent in
Africa-
his standards, he shouldn't vote, and he should campaign.
Yeah, so South
against
Africa,
voting,
South
and he's
Africa,
posing
South
it for,
Africa
like,
has an
whatever he
election.
thinks he is, you know.
Yeah, South Africa has an election.
Distraction.
He's voting though.
That's not
He's voting.
consistent. That position is not consistent, Spoon. Why are you doing this to us again?
it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna
We're having
address
a
the
laugh.
question. It's okay. He
We're
can
having
have
a
his
laugh.
position. It's okay. He can play with his little teddy bears at home. I don't care.
Oh no, he said he's a dual citizen. He says he is a he's not voting. He is a dual citizen, but he's not voting.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay,
He's
my
not
mistake
voting.
then.
Okay. I think we should
I'm
elect
with
the first
J-Mac.
dog president. A competent, loyal, hardworking dog like Beethoven.
No. I have a better
Mine was
idea.
Beethoven.
No, he could be best boy.
Remember, the Onion was
Best
right. We need to resurrect Ronald Reagan as a zombie and elect him as president, okay? That was legitimately an Onion piece, but people would vote him back in if he
I
was
would.
around. Just because of the selection of who alternatives we have access to right now.
In the London mayoral race. Yes, courage, yes. In the London mayoral race, Binface wasn't last. I think it's the same person who was, I don't know. I don't know. It's got a garbage can on his head. Wasn't in last place. Got a couple of thousand votes.
Yeah. We have Vermin Supreme here or whatever, the libertarian dude who wears a boot on his head, who he's gone for president a few times. He hasn't come in dead last. That is interesting.
I think it's
I
fascinating.
was just as soon. Sorry, you think it's fascinating? Hold on.
I do.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good morning.
Period.
As soon as you spoke about a guy like a libertarian with a boot on his head,
The libertarian showed up.
I thought about Benjamin. I was like,
You have summoned him instantly.
You have summoned the wizard.
and that's why when I saw that he, as soon as I thought of him, this came up. And it's not so much the boot thing; it's just the libertarian thing that he's just there to rattle your cage. So he's gonna put a boot on his head just to piss you off. But I don't think you would need a really big boot to go around that beard as well. Boot beard, boot beard. Yeah, that works. Yeah, 12 women have come forward to accuse Trump's eventual VP pick. The B. Oh, that's good.
Doesn't mean much unless they bring some evidence forward, because accusations abound whenever a controversial figure goes anywhere. So,
Well, I don't know,
Group
man.
That would win. Beard wins against Bootbeard. That's true.
Oh, that's true. That would be pretty awesome.
I'm coming up with the bingo card. I'm not finished. I haven't even finished one. Okay. Anyway, what's this is the guy.
That's him. Not last.
Okay, so he looks so much more majestic. Than,
I see the appeal, okay? I see the appeal.
Yeah.
It's a well-designed outfit. I'll give him that.
I like
That's
it.
amazing, yeah.
Sorry, Benjamin. That's just not gonna win against that. Although, yeah, Benjamin's beard. It maybe is Benjamin.
I'm just
You never
sweating
know.
looking at that outfit. Just no, just
Dark
too
trash
much.
bin. No, no air conditioning built.
I think it's
in,
Count
massive helmet.
Binface is the actual name.
Count Binface. People on a large scale ceasing to verbalize their opposition, accepting good faith criticism to keep themselves from radicalizing would make a positive difference. That's an immovable barrier. Very, very sad.
Good luck. The human history
Yeah.
is not going to allow that to happen, unfortunately, especially with the internet. It's never going away. So we have.
So that
Oh,
one's
that's the
Vermin
boot
Supreme.
man.
Yeah, that's our version of that. Yeah, you know, I'm sorry, he's not as majestic as.
The
I'm
brush is
disappointed
awesome.
in you, Gray. This is the best you can do, really.
Oh, God.
America.
I'll hold you
That's the
personally
best we can
responsible
do.
for this failure, okay? I'll let you know.
Fair enough. I deserve it.
Is he a diehard? Wait, year of reserve parking. What is this? And what does it say there? Hold on, I'm gonna make this larger.
Oh no.
What?
Oh,
a wiener
sorry,
mobile
Oh,
only.
nice. I like it.
Yeah, I figured I'd, you know, show some
Move
of my
around.
home.
How are you going to fit that in
Yeah.
that spot?
Yeah.
That doesn't
well,
seem
I
like
guess-
That's what the
near-
rope's for.
Oh, okay. Fair
The
enough.
picture doesn't show how big it is relative to the area. So
The
it might be a
Wienermobile
that's
is
tiny
quite
true.
big.
Wienermobile.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
it could
know.
be a not to scale.
A rubber boot. Sorry, I don't know what I found that so funny. Okay. Somebody put some eyes on me. Okay, so I guess what else? What is happening with the Trump thing? Where are we at? We had Stormy Daniels testify, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I heard this
oh,
happened.
entertaining.
Does anyone know what happened?
She's made a bunch of
You guys are-
accusations. It seems to have
As
changed
usual.
from what her previous statement was, that now it sounds less consensual, even though she went there for money. I don't know. It's weird,
Oh,
but nobody
you
knows.
see-
The story
They're
is
not allowing cameras in
evolving.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what Bruce Rivers, he's a criminal lawyer. That guy, he said that she said, look, it was consensual. It's just that she didn't really want to. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's just telling us that you have no self-respect. That's not to do with him. Though.
Yes, that's not that. Isn't she? Couldn't have she
Yeah.
hired a better legal team to like give her a good like coach her on appearing well in front of an international audience in such an important course? Some rich people will forever elude me in terms of how could I possibly understand this behavior when you have all of these resources and you know how big of a place you are going to
You
go
have
to,
no
and how
excuse.
important you could have done so much to have a good showing, and instead of you are like and it's like great, you choose to do nothing. Good stuff.
Okay, is that it? Is that all we have for Trump? What else is in
there
the-
are some
in the
other
news?
there are some other
Yeah.
there are some rapid things that we may not necessarily want to touch on. I'm saving the Andrew Tate stuff for later, but some quick interesting news from the Russia-Ukraine front
Like a
lines is
snack?
that there is a growing frustration with, of course, the war being stagnant from the Russian side as well. And there have been rumors, so far unconfirmed, of uses of chemical weapons, specifically gas. There are right now 500 casualties that are being strongly suspected that they were injured due to this chemical weapon. So far, not confirmed, but it's a bit of a big number to be a coincidence. And evidence is currently being gathered. Again, Russia is right now playing the international bingo card in the territory of war crimes. So I wouldn't be surprised that eventual frustration would turn them towards this path, especially with the war becoming as static as it is. US and Europe have authorized Ukraine to strike deeper into Russia at will whenever they want, because so far it was a semi-no-no or had a limit on whether or not they could use their weapons, but they kind of let go of that only 2 years late after the conflict, but and aid from the US has been resumed despite a lot of lobbying from a lot of different directions and trying to buy assets in the US to influence this decision in one way or another. But that aid specifically did not account for chemical warfare, so it might have limited impact if indeed it's really happening and it is a route that Russia is willing to go down on permanently to employ this again and again. On other news in relation to the conflict, US investigation has concluded that Russia is unlikely to have been behind the murder of Navalny, as in the Russian government themselves. But believe it or not, in response, the Russian government has stated that they do not agree with the results of the investigation and think otherwise. Yes, that is a statement from Russia. So,
sorry, say it again.
US investigation has concluded that the Russian government is unlikely to have been behind the murder of Navalny, and in response, the Russian government has said that they do not agree with the results of the investigation and think otherwise. Which is essentially a very polite roundabout way of saying, we fucking killed him, you better be afraid.
they pulled an actually... And
we did.
like...
Actually, we think we did, but yeah, it might be just a misunderstanding or a miscommunication, just to be polite. But no, I'm pretty. This looks, they could have just went bombastic and said, traitors deserve no mercy, and played more to their ultra-nationalist voting base that Putin has. But no, I don't know. This was the reaction. And also, we had a US soldier who went to Russia to meet with his girlfriend, allegedly. There is still some confusion surrounding why exactly he traveled there or for what reason, even though he was told not to. He was arrested immediately after entry and for an undisclosed criminal misconduct that we do not know much about. And now he is being interrogated and most likely tortured for information.
Sounds like Stansted to me.
Yeah, again, only second to the guy who decided to run across and seek refuge in North Korea from the US military. Poor decisions abound when US soldiers decide to cross borders into genocidal dictatorships. I don't know why they went there.
This is what Nico says.
Yes, it could mean that the Russians don't agree with other aspects, but they could have used more language to indicate that, not just straight saying that we do not agree with this specific conclusion. They could say we do not trust the US to conduct an unbiased investigation, or we don't believe that you could unfairly conclude such an, etc. Like they could have gone about making a statement that did not appear as this. And also, I do not give them the benefit of the doubt anymore after so much, after how they behaved for so long, both within and outside of their borders. If this was another nation that had a more neutral background history in relation to assassinating people whom they politically disagree with, I would consider that an option, but I do not. Anyway, that's all about recent conflicts, and saving the stuff on Andrew Tate for later. But I do have a picture that's relevant about that.
Okay.
Multiple, in fact, that are funny.
Okay. Are you going to show it, or is it for Tate that you're going to show?
It's for Tate. It's relevant when he comes out. I'm saving that.
I guess we could start with Tate. That is the main one.
All right. Then let me gather some of the funny things.
And I mean, it's Tate versus a whole. I mean, Destiny versus Tate.
But before we go there, I want to show something that is very relevant to this discussion, to the frame of mind that Tate might have been when he entered into that Twitter space. And it shouldn't be fair to call it Tate versus Destiny debate, because it was essentially Destiny going into a Twitter call, which was full of, well, Tate, a bunch of rent pillars, America First people, Nick Fuentes guys, like full of extremists of all sorts of different kinds, genuinely horrible people. Some of them has been exposed for scams, for being just genuinely people who you should not trust when they tell you something. But somehow, and I do not know how, Destiny was the one that came out looking reasonable and rational out of that fucking shitstorm that happened there. A lot of interesting things. But before we move on to that and what happened in that call, I would like to set the scene with a little bit of Tate info. So recently, we had some new Twitter posts from Tate that I'm going to send so you can put on screen if you find it interesting, that had me and others as well theorizing about why it might be going on with him. Because so far the strategy with Tate has been to distance himself a little bit from this former persona, because people can just make 47-minute long compilation of him admitting to all of his crimes. So more so moving to the direction of like, I was not necessarily saying the truth, I was playing a persona, or I'm different, etc., etc. He doesn't usually admit to these things anymore, like openly claiming that I beat women. That was used to be something that, oh no, they twisted my words out of context, etc. I would never stand for that. I'm just the traditional conservative family guy, etc. But now he began openly posting on Twitter about just basically saying that, yes, I am a woman beater. What are you going to do about it? Yes, I do hate black people and gay people. What are you going to do about it? Yes, I do. I'm going to beat up women, and they love it when I do it, etc. Even people in the comments trying to defend him, as like, guys, he's memeing, don't take him seriously. And then he responds to the comments saying, no, I am that serious. I beat women. And then he starts posting slurs afterward in that same discussion.
Yeah, the chat is saying extremists and laughing. I do think that if he has an audience of 100, 93 can tell you that he's laughing, but those 7 are the ones that are a little.
What do we do
extreme.
with crazies? Yeah.
It's fun. Listen, but
on all sides, rest results on all sides.
What do we do with the silverware?
This nothing. What surprised me most about these Twitter posts, because I suspected that he and his people and legal team had advised him to keep up the appearance, to not delve into this kind of the alleged bombastic persona of the wife beater. But he started just straight up tweeting about it again, which had a couple of people theorizing that there might be some things going on, like one, someone could have taken over his account or posted these things, but that is unlikely because there are yet to be any repercussions that I could have seen. So it might not necessarily be him. 2, again, I don't know, maybe he's drunk, maybe he's on something, maybe he doesn't necessarily mean it. Or 3, the case is going poor enough that he has decided, all right, I'm going back to jail. Anyway, I might as well just signal to my followers what I mean anyway. So I do not know why he decided to suddenly dip back into his old ways that caused him to be,
whether he believes it, I don't know. Whether he believes it or not, I think that it is somebody else using his account. It feels very odd. It feels it feels like a 90-degree turn,
It's like, even if he would be, it will be him. If this is really him, he is taking a massive shit on the head of his own lawyers. I don't know why, because they probably have told him 1,000 times, like, listen, bro, you were playing a character, okay? You were lying about all of that for internet fame, okay? You are not going to repeat that. You are going to play the reformed conservative family man who is all about family values, okay? You are a completely different person, actually. That was a person that you discarded, okay? Do not go back into doing all of that shit. So I do not... Again, Tate has been shown to be rather stupid a couple of times, especially when they can make compilations about you on the internet admitting to your crimes. But I do not believe that he would willingly just do this. So I'm on the fence, but again, waiting for proof. This is very recent. I I've sent the picture in Discord if you want to put it up, Kitty, for others to see. But
it's in Discord. Okay.
But that is so far what has happened, and I wanted to set the stage a little bit with what Tate might have been thinking or going through his mind that might have influenced his behavior in this quote-unquote debate with Destiny, which was hilarious.
Women, don't tweet at me. I'm a woman beater. Return to your kitchens immediately. Save your shit opinions for some dude who will listen without getting instantly violent. Jesus. I am a woman beating, racist, misogynistic. Okay, this does sound like somebody took
Yes,
this.
it reminds me of when Sean Murray's Hello Games account got hacked and he started shitting on his own game, No Man's Sky, back when it came out in 2016, and just said all of the things that were like the popular things
this is
about.
This is like when somebody takes over a brand account and wants to slander the brand account.
Yes, that is why two of the three possibilities that me and Andrew came up with might be someone else
because it's
on the account.
Too on the nose. If this is him just being like, oh, look how based I am, it's like, oh, that's pathetic.
I mean, the problem is that in the Destiny discussion or debate, he did take on the kind of I expected him to be more bombastic both here and there, and at least more persuasive in his arguments. Like at least try to twist it as you usually do. But in the Destiny discussion, he as well, when they were arguments presented about like, hey, this is the difference by your worldview might be unethical to hold these positions, and his response was, yeah, but I'm right, so what? So it's also just a generally uninformed, based on whatever he talked about on that debate, didn't know anything about Tucker Carlson, yet defended him to the last breath, etc. So I do see a little bit of this. I am bombastic but well argumentative, and I know what I'm talking about, and I have shit on my side. I'm able to source everything I say, and I'm being persuasive because I'm willing to pull on information that is reliable and also be convincing to people who need my help. That kind of person, a little bit slipping to just I'm the big-mouthed guy who says the things that everyone is secretly thinking, and you know they're all true. That's why you're recoiling in horror, kind of shock value statement. Again, the tweets on the screen right now might not be necessarily from his mouth, but still I've seen evidence of this shift occurring in whenever I see him speaking nowadays.
This is weird to me. Like it's if it is a shift from him and it's him using his account, that's
big if.
But the way this sounds is like somebody, look, I don't like the guy. I'm not defending him. I do think he's full of shit, and he does hate on women in a very real way and whatever. But what this sounds like is if somebody who hated
just
him,
said all of the talking points out loud. Yes.
Took their this is saying all the things that people think about Tate. So it's I guess you could, if Tate is saying it, then it's like, look at him, he's saying, look, I'm saying all the things that you think about.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that it fit into kind of the narrative of him moving into the just pure shock value instead of being persuasive. I'm just I am pro-Palestine, I'm pro-Russia, I'm pro-terror organization because they are right, and you can do nothing about, instead of being the persuasive, more of his old self that was more so willing and capable of arguing people into the fucking ground and also being charismatic. People in the chat are talking about how they're not willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Again, and this is very admitting, and I'm struggling with it as well, but I do ultimately hold out for more evidence, as I usually do. But he has a story that makes it difficult to give him the benefit of the doubt about anything.
It's true, yeah. The ratio is weird. What's the ratio?
It gets what, 1,000 likes in 6 minutes, or what? Or the comments and likes, or what do you mean? What ratio in regards to it is weird? I know that he's riding on like the Groiper alt-right bot accounts right now.
See,
if you take a look at a lot of the accounts that follow him, they have the same name and numbers behind them and no profile picture and just copy paste all over. So I do know that it makes sense with the amount of engagement he's getting. I don't see particularly anything
Who
unusual.
announces when a proper bingo slot is filled? I think you bring it up to us and we'll agree or disagree.
Likes versus impressions.
I think it will also be I think because Cameron made the bingo cards, he also gets final say. Let's say that. Okay, we're just making it up as we go along because that's thinkers. Okay, so I've got a clip of the debate. What's this? What are
I'm
we
looking at the
laughing
card for the first time now.
at the card. Oh,
The bingo card.
Yeah.
What you're wearing, blah blah. I mean the Thursday is a free space. I like that idea. Every Thursday.
Oh wait, do I have the right
Then-
one? Why is there only 4x4?
That's my one. Go to Lord Cameron's one that he just posted.
Apologies.
No, mine's shitty. So go to Cameron's one. I missed his.
I don't
that's
change
why.
my hat midstream for the record.
But we're trying to see if you do that. It's what happens because the other day you brought your hats. Like take some of my ideas.
Throw
there,
some
Cameron,
likes
the one that,
and some super chats to see if I change my hat.
There you go.
That'll
and,
influence
Yeah,
me.
Jeff, now that is one thing that you can ask of Charles, okay? He has shown that he has the capability and a vast collection of hats to choose from.
Cameron and I had some of the same ideas. Mine was something about such an Adam S-Class A-Team. Someone mentions Canada. No, I did the Dorcas Changes PFP one. Yeah, some of the stuff we spoke about. Kitty's and mine were we pretty much did the same sort of thing.
I don't
Okay,
think.
just-
Okay, so
Mhm.
I think
A
that
disgusting
bingo
thing.
should be.
No, I don't like him.
I
All
think
of
that
these are free. Yeah.
bingo should be things that are
Oh my god, the first requests are all rolling in,
recurring,
Charles.
but
It's up to
not.
you now. You are
Yeah.
obliged to, well,
Lucy
Yeah,
has
work. Let's go.
requested a red and white and blue hat. Woo!
oh, wait, I have a guess. I think I know how he's going to solve that one. I think I know.
He's gonna wear all three.
Yep, that's my guess.
Thank you, Lucy. Well, we'll see if this bears fruit.
Yeah.
Gray is
Yes, he is.
rolling
He's
in.
I knew it! I
it!
called it! Let's go.
All right, so I have
So
three
wait,
separate
Charles
hats.
wears blue. Charles wears blue. Charles wears pink. No. Charles.
I got.
Charles. No, that's it.
Should we debate about what I'm wearing? That might cross another one off. Wait, what did I pick?
Lucy loves it. Okay, so I guess we'll check the bingo card after we talk a bit more about Tate. I'm
I
going
don't
to.
know. I put the hat I was wearing.
Are you sure it's
Oh,
not
actually,
under
that's
this?
very-
them, Charles. Okay, can you look after it after the stream is done? Okay, your house must just be made out of hats.
The wife approves.
They are in the boards. They are what make up the scene.
Does she
the
see
roof.
it? Or she,
Yeah, she's laughing. And so, did
she's
you just call me the
he's
wife?
He's gonna have to leave because she's like let's go. He's like, sorry, I gotta go and attend to my. Okay. Let's share. I've just got a random Destiny clip. Unless you had an idea, if you had a clip or something to.
I've
that
watched
you
the
wanted to
conversation. I have a lot of interesting things to say, depending on which part we want to talk about. But
Looks more French than American. Yeah,
Right.
you're a Frenchie.
No, it does.
There might be an.
Europe's
echo
rubbing
because-
off on you.
Not
oh
for much
yes, I
longer.
remember this part. The
What
I
am
didn't
I
think Andrew Tate would be caught so blatantly off guard about defending positions he knows nothing about. But listen, I guess I overestimated Tate's capabilities.
Let's see. So let's see what this part of this is.
Tucker Carlson
Can you guys
said
hear?
the exact same thing that he
We
had
can.
basically editorial.
Didn't Tucker
privilege.
get fired for having an opinion that went outside of the narrative of Fox News?
But-
Isn't that
but-
why he
No,
needs to
Tucker
talk?
got fired because he almost cost Fox News $1 billion for lying on air. It's funny that you defend the fact that he had an original opinion. What you're actually defending is misinformation and lies, which is supposed to be something you guys are against, I thought.
Which opinion was this? That's not what I heard. Tell me, please educate me.
Oh God, he's not what he's talking to.
He is
Um,
trying to do the actually, I'm gonna call you out on not knowing anything about this position, but he knows nothing about this position. It is. I never thought I would see Tate in this kind of desperate situation about the. I don't know anything. You don't know anything either. Okay, I'm gonna pull the card.
Oh,
So I guess this
Yeah,
puts to rest the idea of, whether it's feasible or not to take on a bunch of small opponents.
Yes.
I did.
well,
Myron is the
Destiny seems to be holding his own.
because he's the smartest guy around there. He's just up
I
against a whole
watched
bunch
this
of
conversation. He got muted a bunch of times, I recall correctly, even. So it's the moderation team, if you could call it that, was basically against him as well. So a bunch of meme pictures were floating about because a lot of these people in this call are quite horrible and genuinely evil people. So there were meme pictures of the same call going around, but like Sneeko, Myron, and Tate had their pictures replaced with like Hitler, Stalin, Mao. So then it was just Destiny in the den of like horrible dictators. Because when you look at this picture, you generally I immediately see a bunch of people like, I might not want to listen what they have to say because I don't trust the word that comes out of their mouth because they have been caught doing evil shit so many times. So
I want to hear them. I want to hear it out of their.
What are
their
high
mouths.
fives
It
mean?
irritates me.
But hearing it is interesting.
Where?
But trusting it is
The
risky.
hand. It's they're raising their hand. They want to speak. They're trying to be.
Yes, and
Oh,
some
we
people
should
are
have
just
that.
yeah. That would
Yeah.
help. It's there on the Discord and other stuff as well. I think Zoom, Google Meet has it.
If
now?
we use
But,
Google Meet,
yeah.
you could do it.
I can
you
learn
go
quite a
like-
bit
do
from
that.
this.
Well, you can because you have
Literally,
hands
what
to
to
put
do.
up. You
Literally,
bigot.
we have actual hands.
Some
We
of
can
us
do
don't have
this.
hands. Okay, Charles.
I also have a spinal issue, which hurts.
Oh.
Ow, pinch nerve. Ow, pinch nerve.
Hydra will have to change his profile picture to a hand.
How about like a little paper hand you can hold up in front of your hands? Like
Raise my hand. I'm a bigot.
Yes, is it,
Yeah,
don't you, are you not
being
considerate?
ableist.
Okay, some of us don't have hands over the sports. It's okay, you're ableist. How dare you?
That's fair.
True.
That's fair.
You much preferred seeing Destiny debate discussed with Shapiro.
Me too, man. Me too. That was actual conversation between intelligent people
Yeah.
who were willing to engage in like philosophical argumentation about the nature of whatever they were talking about. Whereas here, it's 99% of the people in this call are here for easy dunks and memes, and they don't even engage with anything that's being said. They are just waiting for their turn to talk
just
and
yelling at each
spam
other.
laughing, crying emojis while Destiny is talking. It's not constructive, unfortunately. It's not a discussion that's gonna be used for anything except making TikTok clips and putting under some music and like, oh, Destiny
So I
got
guess-
old,
so I guess-
or Andrew Tate got exposed, or like that's gonna be the
clout.
result of this call.
Yeah, I guess so. I was gonna try and diagram it, but I think I would be better off diagramming JVP. And,
Yes, that would be more.
what's the name?
That would be a quality diagram. This one,
Yeah.
not so much.
Yeah, what's the point? It's just like it would just be shouting points. Nobody's really talking to each other.
You're not gonna have like long
Yeah.
strings of thought to go down on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot
Like-
of
like,
rapid
yeah,
branches.
This and then this and then this and then this, and it's just it just wouldn't work. Andrew Tate explodes on Soy Boy Destiny.
That's gonna be the name of one of the that's gonna be the
headline,
name.
yeah.
And the other TikTok was going to be famous pedophile utterly crushed by women defender, or like I don't know what. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be clip farming all over the place.
Yeah, but all we have here on Destiny's clip channel is Destiny shuts down Andrew Tate and Fuentes in Twitter call debate.
Which kind of
Okay,
happens, so at least it's not
relatively-
completely clickbait title. So
Yeah, that's relatively. It's just like that's. I suppose that's what happened.
The Fox News, the Dominion lawsuit, there were texts that were leaked from him where he admitted that he was lying on air about claims that
God, he speaks so fast.
Sidney Powlett made to him, and he was tired of lying to his audience about things about the Dominion
Pause.
voting
I think
machine
I know
being rigged.
so he speaks even faster, I think, than usual, because here in this call they kind of weaponize the amount of speaking time,
Mm.
against you, plus muting aggressively, plus continuously cutting. And whenever these people speak, that I talked about before, they don't actually listen. They just wait for their turn to talk and use their opportunity to speak to kind of just go on about like smash, and as rapid fire as many talking points into you as they can. So I can understand why you would immediately go into I'm going to speak faster,
Yeah, it's
I'm sure the
useful,
Vyvanse is a factor as well.
What's Catboy?
Fuentes.
Fuentes
yeah,
was
yeah, boy.
called numerous times for he's the big advocate about how the US has to be cleansed in a number of different ways, how races are real and skin color and IQ differences are a thing, and how trans people are like kind of dead, the root of coming from the devil, etc. A lot of very, very, very far-right ideas. But then he has been caught looking at trans porn, being into catboy stuff, so it's kind of an ironic stuff.
What's Catboy stuff? Do I want to know? Is it
No, you don't want to know. No. This is cursed knowledge.
Is it like a different version of Vosh type stuff?
He was younger. People kind of forget about it.
God.
You're good. You could just know the other facts about him and
yes,
base your opinion on him that way.
Right?
Similar. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay, you guys done?
Those are the memes. Those are Nick Fuentes memes now.
I need to know what to dream about.
On the Nick Fuentes memes.
But I really like the way we called Destiny soy boy stripper named man.
Stripper named man.
The stripper named man. If we ever do a think on Destiny, we're gonna
stage name Destiny.
No.
Don't Google, Matt.
No, don't Google that, Lucy. What? No, Charles, don't resist the temptation. You don't want to know this, okay?
I don't even know it, and I don't want to know it. I saw. Okay, somebody said Catboy, and the only name that was censored was Fuentes. So I was like, okay, that's why.
Well, yeah, but I'd like to know the context for the name, because I see Fuentes and I don't think,
Catboy. Yeah.
I don't want to. Thank you. Like cats are for me. Thank you. And
yeah, Kitty is even more cursed for her. She's like trying to like retain this wholesome animal image, and it's out of your corner of your mind is like Catboy still.
I'm gonna have such nightmares. I need to call Benjamin up so I can.
You need dream therapy.
Go through that dream. Yeah, I need dream therapy after that. Did Kitty bring up the disgusting? No, I didn't. I didn't bring it up. Charles is being so homophobic right now.
What?
I think you said Catboy, so I think the other one technically counts. But Charles, I don't know, man. I'm not sure how that one applies.
What?
Maybe because you're not a fan of looking at the Catboys?
That's just because you give us money doesn't allow you to do that.
It kind of does.
Before you guys do it, I don't have any Catboy hats, so
you don't have cat ears that you could put on.
You'll be wasting your money.
Oh, come on!
I'll be right
You need
back.
to get some. Kitty needs to stop sitting on the mountain of gold she gets from donations and allow you to buy some cat ears that you can put on them. So the chat can demand it at any time.
At first, I thought Catboy being censored was like Foxroo, and I was like, wait. First of all, it's not Catboy anymore, and I wanted to be clear of what I was assuming, or clarified on what I was assuming.
That's the next best thing we can get until then. Yes,
I can ship these to you.
Oh yeah,
and they're janky crocheted ears.
I don't know if I have a shirt to match, but I'll do my best.
I think you have. Do you have a purple hat? You do have a purple one.
I have a light purple, a violet, if you will.
A lilac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting food, BRB. Okay, that's not on the list.
I think it's called Mickey D's.
Mickey D's.
Someone needs to put sneaking away onto the list or something. But we interrupted Demon for long enough. Let him finish the thought, because so far the shuts down Andrew Tate has been just Destiny saying, no, actually, it's this other thing you don't know about, and Tate going, well, then educate me, please tell me. So yes, let's hear the evidence.
I don't know if that's a lie.
Oh, wow.
Knowledge is power.
I think we got to interrupt again.
Is no! Knowledge is power, but very often power comes with a price.
In this
Listen,
case, a
I
literal
can
price
put
tag. But
together-
yes,
No, this
I
is
can put
quite a big
together-
price tag.
Yes, I can put
a
together what
literal price tag, not a little
knowledge
price
is.
tag. But yes.
Does it have? You know what? I'm not going to say. Okay, I'm not going to say. I think I know how they get them, and I don't need it. That's why I don't want to search for it. That's all I want. That's the thing. Because I think I know. And
The
if
knowledge
I
comes
do
at a
know-
price, though. You'll never be able to forget it.
The eldritch knowledge, you need to acquire that bloodborne insight, okay? The world will forever alter around you.
Lucifer, we need a picture of the lilacs, okay? Put them in random pics on the Discord.
What's cat called Cammy?
Does Kitty participating charge exploration with costume aesthetics count? No, it doesn't. What the fuck did? Oh well, Matt did it. Matt did it.
No, someone has. Now you can.
Sadly, you can't unlearn that.
You need to put the little insight eye icon next to your name now. You are forever changed by the accursed knowledge you have accumulated. You can now see.
He doesn't want to get plugged in.
You can now see giant spiders in the. No, Rosales, no. Why do you say that? Please.
I actually only found out how that happened. I don't know what it was, some webcomic or something that I was watching. And yeah, now I know. It makes sense. You could move it.
I've only, I think, scratched the surface. He's just with somebody who goes by Catboy.
I don't.
Right?
You know what?
Yes. I think you've only
trolls.
scratched the surface there.
You don't want to look into the Fuentes, neither the degenerate stuff nor the neo-Nazi stuff. It's not worth it. They don't do it.
Oh, do they bang on
it's
a bed of Nazi paraphernalia?
No, but it could be.
Okay.
You don't know anything because you don't read any media. That's why you're out here saying things like they get marching orders from everybody. You don't know how any of these media companies are structured. You don't know where the teams get their information from. People that work in media are the most like social media hungry people in the universe. You think that all these people in all these networks across all these countries.
Obviously, the media talk happened before this.
Like, nobody's leaked anything.
It's
nobody's
true.
about anything. Nobody's.
Hold on. Okay, earlier on, Sultan, who said, why is his mouth moving like that? Look how his mouth moves. Destiny.
Anything. And why do we think that the people in the universe structured? You don't know where the
Go
teams
left
get their
in.
information from. People that work in media are the most like social.
It's kind of a
media
side
hungry people
effect.
in the universe. You think that all these people in all these networks across all these countries.
It
are
does
doing
have
the same marching
some-
orders.
Yeah,
and
what is
nobody's
that?
leaked Anything? Nobody's complained about anything. Nobody's said anything. And why do we think that mainstream media is any more insulated from these problems?
I think I know why.
Media?
Cocaine
You guys will make
prevalent?
fun of the marching.
No.
No,
He's
it's called
some-
Vyvanse.
He has some sort of, I forgot the exact name of what it was, but this energetic, constantly have to do something thing is kind of in like he talked about how he had to, for when he didn't know what it was, he did like I have to constantly munch on cookies or something or do something and distract my mind. But it's some this energetic thing.
What is
But sadly, there is a crude version of it in the comments. But yeah, he is on this drug called Vyvanse, which is an amphetamine. It is kind of a side effect of that, since he's been like publicly saying that he's been taking this for his, I think, ADHD. He has done that more and more. So I think it is kind of a side effect. I'm not going to say that, yes, 100% that's what that is, but that seems to be what the internet has diagnosed him with.
I've seen
seem to be
this,
more probable.
I trust on clips that were before he said he was. I think that were way before this. So I don't think. Maybe the math is making it work, even if it's. I don't know if it's honestly related because I've seen this. I've seen clips of him way older than this, even full-on videos where his mouth moves exactly like this. That
It's just a quick, and I suppose, and listen, it's prescription drugs, so it's okay.
Oh,
Call him bald. I'm looking at his chat. Call him bald.
This is true. He is bored.
Call him bald. Like, yes, that will. You know what? That is the heart of the conversation in any case. Okay.
But let's get to the actual meat of the matter because we have delayed it for long enough. I hope. But I
From
know
mainstream
Destiny
media, but I bet
will give
every
us some
single
proof.
alternative media guy in here is anti-vax, thinks COVID came from a bioweapons lab, thinks that Russia has a right to invade Ukraine, thinks that all the charges against Donald Trump are made up, thinks that we shouldn't be supporting Israel. Like, you guys have literally copy-pasted the same opinions between every single one of you, and you guys are talking like an army of NPCs about how the mainstream media gives you like fabricated opinions. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Yes, we do all think the truth. That is.
Oh, Brad, see, this is what I was talking about.
You all think the same thing. It's not a conspiracy, but when the mainstream media does, it is a conspiracy. Crazy how that works.
I just said that different state-sponsored broadcasters would have conflicting points of view.
But they
so
don't. Do you watch any media? Have you followed any
of
media?
Course,
They don't typically have conflicting opinions. When you're reporting on international media, the stories are more or less the same.
And a BBC segment, they often directly conflict. Often.
No, very rarely. On the facts, no. Maybe if you're watching a pundit or you're reading op-eds, they will. But if you have any amount of media literacy, a really great example that works against your Israel stuff, by the way, was the reporting of that Al-Alassi hospital bombing, where everybody was saying that Israel bombed that parking lot. Every single mainstream media outlet in the world ran with that story for 2 days.
True.
I mean, how did that work if Israel controls the media? Or how does that work if they all give conflicting accounts and reports? It's because they don't. It's because everybody relies on, like, people that report.
Everybody copied each other's opinion. I love how they respond to like laughing emoji.
They sure did change the headlines very quickly, Destiny.
Yeah, after more information came out. Yes, sir, that's how it works.
When fake news came out.
So naive. There have been so many lies specifically about wars. It's insane that you would even bring that up. Before the 2020 election, there was a big story about how Russians were putting a bounty on the head of American soldiers in Iraq. You remember this? And they said Trump is allying with Russia, who's killing our soldiers. Then a year after, and by the way, that's after the election, they came out and said, yeah, that wasn't true. They came out and said, see,
pause.
We source our intelligence on the ground.
Pause, kitty pause. Kitten pause. Yes. So I'm sorry, but I have to say this. Not only Tate is losing his touch, Nick Fuentes as well. I believe I could have argued this position better, even though I don't believe in it. I'm sorry, that is such a weak argument, even from what you believe and what you hold to be true. You can have made something so much. Maybe Nick is a little bit like, oh, I'm with the big boys here, big dogs. Here is Alex Jones will be arriving and Ruth Tate is here. Maybe he's trying to approach it differently because of that. But a lot of these people seem to have devolved, at least in my opinion, in that they lost some of their original behavior that made them who they were in the first place. Sorry, that's what I wanted to interject.
Some of it has a high degree of confidence, and some of it has a low degree. And this one had no degree of confidence. But it took them a year to correct it after it had already served its purpose. Same thing with the Hunter Biden laptop. They totally put the lid on that one because they said, we were told it's Russian disinformation. Turned out to be authentic after the election, just like the 40 beheaded babies. 40 beheaded babies, 40 babies, and their heads are off. I can't believe it. And then they found out in December, after Israel had already invaded, after they blockaded Gaza, after everything, they said, oh, yeah, that was all fabricated. It's a complete lie. Same thing with Ukraine. I remember when we debated, they said
that's a little bad look where you go, oh, babies with their heads off. Yeah, that's the wrong attack to have. The attack is supposed to be that it was wrong, that it was fabricated. The way when you mock it that way, it makes it sound like you don't care about the headless babies. You got to talk about the headless babies not existing.
Again, yes, Nick Fuentes of old would have known this. Nick Fuentes, that is why I'm saying exactly. This is why I'm saying he is. Sorry, I've got delayed again. Wait a fuck for some reason. From my end, it sounded like you stopped talking, so I started talking, and then it kind of glitched, and you were fast forwarded to where you were. So I don't know what the fuck StreamYards is doing, but I don't like it. No, don't apologize. It's StreamYards' fault, not yours or mine. This is what I meant when I said Nick Fuentes is kind of losing his touch or his personality, because the Nick Fuentes of old would have been able to capitalize on this and would have made this argument even stronger about like the nature of protecting the innocent and fear mongering and the lives and like the how it is a just and Christian cause to protect each other, and how it is appeared to, like you can have gone so many different directions from his ultra ethno-nationalist super Catholic worldview. It could have been done, but he just chose not to.
Just the tactic of you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're making a sensation of the wrong thing when you could have gone, look what they lied about. Look how egregious that lie is, that you would lie about something like that.
And Nick Fuentes did this in the past. He should be able to do it again, but he doesn't. I don't know why. Like this, did they lose the ability to do it? Are they just too lazy anymore? Are they so comfortable in this score? They should know there's gonna be a clip to fuck and it's gonna be super famous. I don't know.
It's okay, Artem, you have to do some statistics for us. We'll describe it. It's got to do with the bear, man versus bear question.
No.
Yes, we got to do that. We got to do the statistics and change them according to how many bears there are versus how many men there are, how many interactions happen with women and bears, how many interactions happen with women and men without resulting in fatality. So, yes.
No, don't taint.
No.
His innocence and purity must be preserved at all costs. Everyone rally and protect Item Wizard.
As JMac points out, knowledge comes at a price.
You do not want to pay this price, trust me.
It's okay. I can vouch for he's fine to handle the question.
Okay. Unbearable. Not today. Yeah, not today. Let's go.
Russia blew up a nuclear reactor because they're trying to do another Chernobyl. Turned out that was bullshit.
That was not claimed, by the way. I was there when those stories dropped. Pause. Again, the Nick Fuentes of old would have never directly lied about something that is so easy to check. Nobody said that Russia blew up Chernobyl again. The situation was that his soldiers went there, occupied it, didn't know or didn't care about the radiation, destroyed a bunch of equipment that was there to take care of the stuff and avoid radiation from linking, dug up the radioactive dirt, got contaminated, broke a bunch of equipment and scientific stuff, treated the science staff there terribly, and then fucked off, carrying with themselves a bunch of irradiated shit, spreading the problems. That was the story, and it's you can see videos of it. It's pretty accurate from what I've seen, due to the fact that many Russian school books and generally Russian government doesn't bother to teach about Chernobyl because it didn't happen. And what they teach instead is Chernobyl is a nuclear and biological weapons site that was used to develop viruses that are key to the Russian DNA, specifically against them. That kind of explains why the soldiers went in there smashing everything they saw inside. But again, I never saw even any news because I watched this eagle-eyed, because Chernobyl, when it originally exploded, it affected some of my family members. So I was specifically watching this so that I would have known if anyone ever claimed that it exploded again. I would have known about it immediately. I was specifically watching this very closely, and such a thing was never claimed. And again, the Nick Fuentes of old would have never have said such a bold-faced lie. He would have twisted or manipulated things, sure, but not outright lie about something that is so easy to check. He would have been more clever.
He didn't just what do you call it? Like
he would have lied, but not so like openly.
He did it badly.
Like he wouldn't have said on the 15th of March the sky was green. It's like, no, everyone can check it. It wasn't like that. Okay, it's not. He would have said like more. He would have still lied through his feet all the time, but in a way that wasn't easy to debunk or check. And it would have been more sinister, not just openly and flatly of something wrong.
Let's see. That's why I'm like, okay, wait, are they just finding bits and pieces to shout at each other about? There's no actual through line of
the people in this call are not interested in genuinely having their minds changed.
It's just providing like, he has a point. This is what DebateTube was like, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they're attempting to do death sports, but or blood sports, but I don't know. It's weird. They're going for the fences. Tate comes out with yes, I believe in the truth. So I don't know. They're all doing this performatively. It definitely seems like pro wrestling.
Which is Sitch was saying, because people were asking them Sitch and Adam to go over this. And Sitch was like, I don't know. Adam was like, you could go into one of these calls and clean up because you're a smart guy. But
that's not about being smart going into one of these scores. No,
I think it's just I think it would. I think Sitch would just lose his mind because part of being smarter than most of the
he's
people
not trained for this. Smarts are nothing. It's nothing to do with this in these scores. Like, in fact, being smart is a negative because your mind will constantly be drawn to all of the stupidity that abounds in a space.
You'll be frustrated a lot.
You'll be dragged down to other people's levels who are just there to be performance artists. So,
but the issue is even wrestling has an outcome. There's a predetermined outcome.
Yes.
So wrestling's better.
I mean, you can get it close to there, though. Like we mentioned the moderating in this one, like it definitely was one-sided. Like the guy seemed very happy to have Fuentes and Tate and what the hell is the name? Sneeko in there as well.
Alex Jones, yes.
Yeah. So he was definitely favoring them over Destiny. But I don't know. Is that enough to actually win like public appeal? Like Destiny isn't allowed a ton of time, but he seems to be holding his own. Like, I don't know. There's a reason why, he is where he is. Like his performance is very high, especially in these things. But yeah, it didn't win over everybody.
A lot of people are not here to be won over. I would just like to point out a lot of people are here to get their ego stroken by their favorite people all being in one place, repeating again all of the things that they have all heard. I kind of think that is one of the most powerful points by Destiny that clearly explains that, yes, you shit about all of the Matrix and everyone just repeating the same lines, but you do realize that you engage in the exact same behavior just in another place, in another platform about other things. You do realize that you are the exact same things that you claim that you hate so much. I think that's a really powerful point.
Yeah, which is something that and also, look, he's not at the moment, I mean, it's only 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but the moment he's engaging a lot more than they are in terms of usually what we criticize the left for is not engaging intellectually in any way. This is happening from the other side now. They're just and that's supposed to be intelligent debate.
And Destiny immediately jumped to they went kind of into a new point or into a new semi-new topic, and he didn't try to drag them back. He willingly walked over and started talking about that. So he's clearly
fun. We can go. Yeah. He's like, fun. I'll come with you. You don't what you think I won't have something to say about this? Like, so let's continue.
5 examples about 3 different conflicts where they report it. It serves its purpose, and then they revise it a year later after they got what they wanted. And you, because you believe their alibi, because you don't understand the distinction between power and powerless, between government and people, you say, no, I think they got more information. They found out that the propaganda that they created for their efficient purpose, they found out that was a lie because, these are just really earnest people like you and I trying to get it right, as opposed to very interested parties in government, finance, wherever you find it. So those are just a few examples off the top of my head.
I love how he's just
like in Iraq, right?
When all of the others, he was very clearly on the edge of attacked, being interrupted, etc., and he still somehow at this point has the patience to hear this out, even though this is something he probably heard a million times over from people who can argue better even. So I admire that patience.
I think that's what makes Destiny look good. That's why people are like, oh, Destiny cleaned up. It's like, yeah, well,
he is certainly formidable. In a position like this, very few could hold themselves, regardless of character or anything. It's
interpersonal skills. Yeah.
Yes, he has the experience on his side, though. Remember, he's been somewhat around in this space for more than a decade. So.
Yeah.
Just get stories wrong. Maybe it's possible because it happened on the other side too. How many people were saying, "Oh, there's no way that Russia's going to invade Ukraine. That's bullshit. The U.S. intelligence must be lying because Nick said that they lie about the intel all the time." Well, guess what? That happened. Oh.
That's pretty funny. I'm sorry. Him having the having the examples, the right examples. He has the intelligence to bring up
the right
examples. Yeah, to go, here is an example of that refutes yours.
Here's an example that shows that your assigned motivation might be incorrect, because he doesn't defend that, hey, some people have interests or that some people get things wrong. He just said your narrative about why they are doing it and how is not consistent with reality, because look at these examples. And then this gets intentionally misinterpreted as like, see, Destiny says that nobody has any interest and nobody manipulates at all. He believes everything the government says and we don't. And that makes us better. That's the narrative, of course, instead of actually going down into the philosophical nitty-gritty about like, how do we know when news sources get it wrong? How to differentiate when they actually just change their mind for a better story? These are all interesting topics that they could have discussed, but nobody in this call is willing to have the discussion. And even Destiny isn't, because he knows these people are not going to ever allow him to go there, because then they would just turn it again into shitfest. So this is.
But he's quick enough to say, yeah, but here is my example, and just play their game,
which is admirable, if nothing else. So it's quick on his feet, regardless again of what I personally think of the guy.
He doesn't go, oh well, no, he doesn't go into defending. You're right. He doesn't go into defending the truth of what everybody else is saying. He's like, no, well, you have lies on your side too. It's not, and then people go, oh, what's aboutism? It's like, actually, that's a valid thing though. With you are mudslinging, you are throwing rocks in glass houses. So we are going to talk about stones. Sorry, stones, not rocks. Stones. Gordon is upset with me. I'm inaccurate.
Bingo! Oh well, there are no fighters.
Who's got bingo?
Hospital.
Tangent. Was it tangent? What happened?
You yelled at Gordon, so that counts for me.
Oh, you go. It does. I didn't yell.
Bro, that can't possibly be the case. Oh, whoops, we found CCTV.
Wait, we need Gordon yells at Chinsia. Or Gordon teases Chinsia. That will be it. Yeah.
Footage that shows otherwise. Oh no, hydroxychloroquine is a way better drug than remdesivir. Like, oh, this is going to be the ivermectin is going to save all of us. Oh, looks like none of that was true. Oh, people get things wrong. Some people lie. Like, you have to be intelligent enough to call out.
3 examples, by the way, out of this pocket immediately.
In like 3 seconds. Yeah. The SA use stones. We don't use stones. We don't use pounds. We use kilograms and grams.
No, that wasn't even a syllogism. Listen, people get things wrong sometimes. You have to be more intelligent. You got to be more sophisticated when you go.
You see, like they just blah, 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 blah. No, I think I would have left. I wouldn't be.
Again, he's being interrupted for I don't know how many times at this point, and he still doesn't interrupt back. He just keeps talking when he's talking. The nerves of this person are tempered in fires I would dare not walk into.
Does he use his temper with him at all?
Through media, and you have to understand sometimes people fuck up and they get shit wrong. Sometimes people do lie, but why the fuck would you trust people who in alternative media who are like teams of like 1 to 4 highly ideologically driven people versus entire media conglomerates that are being fact checked or have like dozens or sometimes hundreds of workers in some of these offices?
Okay, what I would say to that is then we have to just not believe anyone. And
you have to raise the standard to like, okay, I'm actually gonna have to put in a lot of work and cannot just listen to someone. That's the consistent position in that case.
Yeah, consistent. So don't be going. That's what it seems like he was attacking the lack of consistency. But he doesn't actually make the extra step to say that. That's where he stands.
Probably excusable in the heat of the moment, of course, but it would have been the benefit of hindsight.
And you know what he does? He does say, what's the name? What do you call it? He does say dickhead and things like that. So he did kind of get heated.
But it's kind of in response today. I do see that. I believe that there was an escalation. They walked up on the escalation ladder, so to speak. So it didn't just open by being insulting and whatever. It kind of boiled over to this point. So I do not necessarily fault him per se, but again, we could go into optics and whatever. But I do. At least he tried. I don't know. I don't know how long I would have lasted in this room.
Ability for you to lie about something.
Attempts
is going to be way higher.
Do you? How is anyone hearing anyone?
How much do you know about the CIA's history of influencing media?
What an amazing question. I don't know. How much do you know about?
I often don't hear people like you and Ed and Brian digging into the history of the national intelligence state directly influencing media.
Because
like,
history is different. Like if you want to talk about US foreign policy between like the 40s and before the, the fall of the Soviet Union, that's going to be a different type of foreign policy, a different approach than our foreign policy over the past like 34 years. Also, the ability to sneak or hide different things is going to be different when everybody is carrying around a video camera and a recorder. Like
now that is a good argument though.
Is a lot easier back in the day when people were typewriting to each other or
I have to go. I have to go. So I want to ask.
Buried. Yeah, do your thing, Andrew.
Sorry, brother. I have to go. So I just want to ask a really quick question.
What were you?
Destiny, I want to understand your worldview because you and I have a different worldview, it seems, especially on girlfriends.
He's interested in understanding.
We won't go down that path.
Oh, what a cheap shot, especially on girlfriends.
Do you think it would be prudent and professional for a country to allow its state broadcaster, which speaks to its populace, to report whatever it wanted and whatever it discovered without any kind of moderation or input, even if it was directly adverse?
Do you not just realize that what he says can be twisted or can be even, not necessarily even twisted, just copied one-to-one to be used for the things that he's arguing against? If his ideas were implemented, the people he hates so much would gain even more power. Also, just wanted to quickly say that as well, that whenever, I believe this personally, you may choose to differ, but whenever in a conversation, an argument based on such like state, we are politics, etc., all of these topics, someone brings up your personal life or relationships as an argument, that's conceding defeat already, because that's admitting that, hey, there's no way I can beat you in this battlefield, but how about I attack you personally instead of what you said?
Yeah.
Then I could replace Destiny with a printer and arguments would be almost as valid, you know. They would still be interesting regardless of where they come from, than as opposed to just this particular human had spoken them.
Hydro, you thought of how to twist something?
Listen, Andrew Tate and his kind should know better, okay? They complain continuously about being taken out of context and whatever. So maybe they should think a little bit and try to implement some safety measures so it doesn't happen again. But then again, after seeing him melt down on Twitter, it seems like that's not even a concern and they aren't even trying anymore. Because at least you could have kept up the good guy act. You could have listened. You should have listened to your lawyers, man. I don't want to be, I can't even imagine what Andrew Tate's lawyer is thinking right now. My God, that's going to be, what a horrendous position to be put in. I mean, hopefully you get a lot of money in the end, but who knows? Like, Hydra has no other argument. Hail Hydra. Okay, guys, come on. The Hydra is evil memes. You got to up the game, okay? It gets solved quickly.
People in Destiny's chat are also asking, basically, I like Lucy says, does he have a retainer? And so somebody in Destiny's chat's like, does he have a list? Like, look, we're doing the ad hominem, I suppose, but he started it, okay? So
no, it's not an ad hominem, it's a genuine question. I don't, like, making it an ad hominem would be, who would want to listen to anything a guy with a lisp would say? Like, that would have been an ad hominem version. This is just genuinely being interested about what the fuck is going on with his face. But, you know, it's different.
Yeah, because he lashes out at everybody and everybody. He's so perfect and he's so great. But he doesn't address this shortcoming of his.
That country or the military-industrial complex of that country. Do you think they would allow the state broadcaster to just report whatever it wants?
He's eating something.
Fairly, without anyone telling them what to say or any narratives to hold, even if it's directly counter to the interests of very powerful entities within that nation. Do you believe?
Wait, what did he do? He didn't speak like that before.
Maybe something happened in prison, okay? Who knows?
When did he start lisping? I'm so easily entertained. I'm sorry.
Tate lips goes crazy, okay?
Believe that we operate in a world that fair.
Yes, because confidence is a valuable thing. And if your country doesn't trust you, doesn't trust the media, if it doesn't trust the leaders, and if you've got ways to hold them accountable, like via voting, then yeah, if you around with your population and people find out, you're going to be held accountable for it. Arguably, that's why Trump won his election. You know, you can say that like, oh, well, the media lies to everybody and everybody lies to everybody. That might be true. Fine. Then why the should we believe anything any of you guys say, right? At that point, you're in an epistemic, you know, nihilistic black hole of nothingness where you can't believe anybody.
Dustin, I have a question. I'm curious.
Okay, go, Andrew.
I'm curious. Do you believe that in China, the state broadcaster can just broadcast whatever it wants and whatever it discovers, or do you believe it has to work within an official narrative from the government?
In China, I think they probably have to work with official narratives from the government. This media probably works close with the state.
And what about in Russia?
Yes. For publications like RT, yes.
Saudi?
I don't know as much about Saudi media, but that would be my assumption. It's a total monarchy, yeah.
But in the West, not at all, 0%, right?
Well, it depends on the country you're talking about. Like the BBC gets state funding. I don't think they get state direction. PBS gets state funding. I don't think they get state direction. I think in general in the West, I don't think the media tends to operate at the behest of the state. Whereas like in monarchies or dictatorships, you tend to operate more with what the state is telling you to do. Yes.
Well, we could ask why you get state funding without state direction. That's one question. But so
because of legislation from Congress that authorizes state funding. I mean, it's not really a huge conspiracy.
Of course, yeah, they just give money for nothing. Yes, fine.
Money for I'm sorry. Do you think the most wealthy broadcasters work for PBS and NPR?
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I
know you don't.
Oh, Sam, that's such a cowardly move. Come on, pause. That was genuinely like Tate, for a second, was standing at the door of like, hey, good argument. The state isn't known for giving money for just, you know, out or nothing. They may waste money on like terrible ventures and inefficient bureaucratic stuff, but not for nothing. You know, what is happening there? And instead of going down and sticking with his guts, he's like, oh, look, should we talk about it? It's like, come on, like, how is that? This is your idol of masculinity. Who is this person?
And Destiny gets to smooth it over and decide how that ended, and just like he just goes, okay, basically that's defeat. Boom. Okay, fine. I beat you.
That was a good back and forth.
I went back down, and we went there, and I already beat you. So thank you. Thanks, Varus.
Also, there was another version of this.
See item.
The CSE item. Thank you for sticking around. I don't like that this is, I've seen the whole thing, of course, and clips as well, but there were other versions where whenever they were talking about something, the relevant information was cut into the clip. I would have loved to see that version again, but that was particularly useful with the Tucker Carlson conversation, because I remember there were receipts shown both there, and of course you can still find them out there, in the world of Tucker Carlson admitting to all of the lies that Destiny claims that he has admitted to, in messages that he knows he's lying about the Dominion voting machines, and he's so tired, and when he could finally stop lying about them and talk about something else, you know, it's kind of a daring admission from someone that's kind of shakes the narrative. It's important when it's brought up, but this, stop trying to criticize whichever clip channel it is. I didn't see it when the video was originally brought up, but this was probably made quickly, which is why it just cuts and no effects or anything. But maybe if you pasted in the relevant information that was being talked about, especially as clearly Destiny positive or on Destiny's side channel, you could have made it even more clear of like, see, boom, shut down, here are the receipts or whatever, you know, maybe.
I think that the main takeaway is there should be no it shouldn't be one or the other. You should be suspicious of it all, and I don't agree with Destiny, but I don't agree with Tate either.
Tate is clearly insinuating that they are controlled to the same degree and should be distrusted all the time, which is obviously not the case. But this nuanced discussion is impossible in this space right now, because people are here to have blood sports. You cannot go into the discussion of like, what is truly independent media, and how would one receive funding if they were to be truly independent? This is a deep philosophical question and an economical one that we could actually talk about. None of these people in this call are capable or willing to have this discussion right now.
They just want to do the hitting each other over the head thing.
So do you think that would allow a country to be competitive, considering that you need to have narrative control over your populace, and that we now know, and everyone in the West accepts, that China has narrative control over its populace by the state broadcaster, as does Russia, as does Saudi Arabia, as do all these other countries, and that having a news broadcasting...
He's rambling. He could have explained this all so much faster. Again, this is what I said. These people would just, they just, like a sponge, they soak up time and just take it to talk about their own political positions. I don't like this interaction in and of itself because of its nature. I prefer constructive conversations. But yeah, I'm just.
Do you hear that though? Do you hear that? What he said? He just said that he believes that it is acceptable for propaganda, state propaganda, to exist. That it's necessary.
And he addressed this in the full conversation, which we don't see because this is a clip, that his argument, which is much more damning, which should be in this clip, is literally, if you listen to the whole conversation, is like, yeah, propaganda is evil when it's something that I disagree with, and then we need to have free speech and marketplace of ideas. But when it's something I agree with, I am full for like a theocracy and enforced narratives and everything. It is so silly when you see it in full context. So fucking silly. But still,
even if it's against national security interests, would not allow you to be competitive as a nation state.
Competitive.
You think that we're going to allow that to happen just because I don't know, we care about truth so much?
No, because the West doesn't run the world because they dominate the narrative. The West runs the world because they dominate it militarily and economically. People don't like the United States because we've got the most paid for media.
Yeah. I think it all works together. It all works in.
But if you could argue that
it all supports itself.
The U.S. narrative, the media is powerful, but if you make a pie chart, the overwhelming majority would be the U.S. could cut you off from the financial system and people will starve, or they would show up with a carrier task force and 900 planes would bomb your nation into the ground, and then we would have a tiny slither about past a bunch of other things in the budget, and then we would have a relatively small slither as the also different U.S. publication will say mean things about you. But that would be a relatively small part of the pie chart.
Yeah, nobody would give a shit about, like, you can control your media as much as you want, but nobody gives a shit about, like,
it's not as powerful if people in the US say that X country is bad, and people in that X country will be like, well, I don't think that, or whatever. It's much more powerful to exert direct force with economic and military manners. Yeah,
like you use your media to show that you have that force, because you don't need to go and you can do your Cold War about it all. Okay, you can just show that you have it, and you don't have to apply it. That you can use your media for. But yeah, it's not about they say mean things therefore they win, or they say things that benefit them therefore they win. It's like, no, they actually kind of have the muscle to back it up.
The West no longer dominates the world economically and militarily. That ship has sailed. Finch, I 100% disagree. If you look at how even economies that are directly opposed to the West and are working day and night to crush the West by any measure necessary operate, they are still damn reliant on almost everything the West does constantly. So it's listen, I don't even know how to explain it to you. Like, even the nations that are preparing to have total war with the West at any moment have serious problems because all of their military equipment is built from parts that are manufactured by the West. Russia built a single tank or plane that did not rely on Western imports after the fall of the Soviet Union. It is a thing they struggle with. Even the most modern, super ultra stealth tank that was never seen outside of parades, T-14, is built out of recycled and thrown out Western parts from the last generation firmwares of the Leclerc that they sold back when they upgraded, and from stuff that is worse quality than you can get in a fucking spy gadget store. Like, you cannot say that the West no longer dominates a world economically when the economy is so interconnected and so many fundamentals just link back to the West makes these. You might not call it domination, but they could pull the rug under you with severe consequences. Maybe we just differ on our definition of domination, but I certainly think they could tip the Jenga tower, if a push comes to shove.
Yeah. I think it should.
At the time and date with evidence, I have Discord events that I can schedule. Everyone is always welcome there to talk about whatever they want. So you can show up anytime and show me whatever you brought to substantiate the claim. I will welcome it anytime.
Entries matter. Yes, it's great. It's just on a roll there. Let's finish this up.
We like the United States because we have the strongest navy that guarantees the most free passage through water. Because when the Houthis start firing missiles at people, it's U.S. destroyers that show up and save the waterways. They like the United States because we are a massive trading partner. We
have
the
global
highest
reach
in the world at this point, and we buy and sell goods like crazy. That's why people like us, not because we poison our media, but because we actually put out good results. You can't control the media. You can't media frame the way out of like horrible participation in a world economy. You just have to like actually be able to put up the numbers.
No, I don't think you understood the point I'm asking, because America.
Points you're asking.
Because the country is in competition with other nation states, right?
No, but we don't compete on who can control the narrative. That's shit you do on Twitter and YouTube. We compete on who has the highest number of exports. We compete on who can facilitate like the largest
microchips
trade deals. We compete on who can guarantee safe passage through waterways, and people start blowing each other up. Whose military is going to show up to make sure that your ships are safe? Those are the things that we compete on.
Cool, understand. So you think that America has
okay, but in the meme war,
controlling the narratives that is.
In the meme war, yes. I think that's the normal take to have there, Nico. Like, yeah, media can affect other nations lesser than active and direct measures, economy, statecraft, etc. But affects nation. It does affect.
Yes,
but,
that's what. Yeah, it's a soft power, hard power thing. I think the pie chart analogy is apt. Someone could make actually the pie chart like this. It is there, but it obviously pales in slight size compared to things like the economy and the military and statecraft and diplomacy.
You can't use it to change the balance. You can't
everything. It is a fundamental part of the big machine, but it alone does very little. It needs to work in tandem with all of the other parts.
What direction? People in Romania move in the freedom direction.
Own population believes in, although the CIA spends basically unlimited money ensuring that vested interests are installed in every other nation state around the world.
If you
they don't care about their own at all.
Yeah.
They don't care about what Americans think at all. They just care about all the other countries think.
Yeah, if you think the CIA spends unlimited money, it's because you don't know what unlimited money looks like, and you have no idea what the scale is between like CIA spending and spending of companies like Facebook or Apple or Microsoft or Amazon. Like, if you guys at least were to come on and say things like, I think that all of our foreign policy is being ran by the people that control like Apple and Facebook, that would at least make sense. But by companies that are worth, like tens of billions or like $100 billion, no, absolutely not. And also, no, the reputational hit you would take in a democracy when you elect your leaders and people catch you lying about stuff or fabricating stories or controlling the media. No, I don't think you.
Lying. Oh, we never called them lying.
Is this supposed to be a death
Nobody ever said. Hold on. Nobody ever. Nobody ever said they never. Nobody ever said. Nobody
influence other populations, but they have no.
See, this is what I mean. Now we just gonna pause. Now comes the purposeful mischaracterization, and Tate's gonna like, but we have caught them lying. You see, your point is mute. But as opposed to Destiny's point was more like, when you catch them lying, the reputational trade-off is more often not worth the, and then it was immediately caught because this extreme bad faith interruption comes around. Again, farming for the TikTok clips that's gonna interrupt coming with the shitty meme music and talk about how, look at it, ooh, Destiny said that no one has ever been caught lying. Let's shit on him. I hate the bad faithness of this discussion. It is poisonous. It is disgusting.
Everybody else is with their democracy and all the garbage they're doing when they're pushing it, and you're saying they don't control the narrative, which is also another rabbit hole we need to go down.
I mean, technically, your story isn't even contradictory, even if I let you have that, because technically Americans don't really give a what happens in other countries as much as their own. So you could get away with influencing other countries more than your own. Yeah, of course. But the reality is that like if you get caught doing these lies, you pay huge repercussions for it. Like a lot of the country's politics
for COVID. What did they pay for COVID? What did they pay for the Vietnam War? What did they pay for?
Pause. Well, can you say what did they pay for COVID? What did they pay for Vietnam? First of all, one of the reasons you are directly getting boost in your narrative power because you came out against all of the vaccine shit and the anti-vax sentiment has soared after COVID. The societal reactions are there like, you cannot deny the effects. And the Vietnam War, one of the single most cultural defining thing that it caused new ways of thinking to arrive. Like, it's the influenced music media forever. And how can you say, what did they pay for it? I
think they want like, maybe he's talking about like once people go to jail for it or whatever. It's like, no, you pay for it.
Plenty of people went to jail. He would just argue that they weren't the right ones because, that's it's not the same as saying, oh, they pay for it. They pay for it. Again. I hate just how this discussion goes. There is a genuinely good conversation to have about all of these topics, and it doesn't look anything like this.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to have have an actual discussion. But nah, it's fine. We'll just rather just yell at each other.
For the Vietnam War, it was harmful to U.S. institutions. That's one of the reasons why we left Vietnam. If we controlled the media, we would have stayed in Vietnam until we saw it through.
True,
media
by
pressure
the
was one of the
way.
reasons we left. Look at how unpopular the Iraq War became. You don't think Obama wanted to take a more active role in the Middle East? He couldn't because the American public hates everything in the Middle East after the Iraq War. What are you talking about? Yeah, American public heavily influences our ability, our capability of operating in theaters of war.
Just thought experiment. Imagine that, I don't know, Vietnam War, I don't know, the Axis wins World War II, it's Men in the High Castle or Wolfenstein, and the Vietnam War happens and it's a proxy war between super Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union instead of US and Soviet Union. Super Nazi Germany, whatever, has total control over the media and the narrative. They would never pull out of Vietnam because of bad public reception. Obviously, the US wouldn't have, if they had just control over all of the media and told them what to do because they funded all of them, they would have been able to say no to the essentially the rise of television, which caused Vietnam to die, or the rise of a new form of television, to be fair.
So I do want to, this is true. Hydra and I have been the only ones that are really talking too much about this. What do the actual Americans say about all this?
I'm only one because I was rejected by Canadians, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that either side is really coming to like this with actual facts, but I don't know. I like Destiny's rhetorical strategy more. It seems to definitely be scoring more with the audience, but I don't know. I can see some of Tate's points, like this whole like state-run media thing. It would be a problem. I don't know that ours is as entrenched. It's not like NPR and like everything else switched over like the second Trump was in there. Like they still had their traditional opinion. I don't think that really changed. In fact, it kind of empowered them. So I don't know. I think it would be a problem, but I don't know. I don't think I would have taken any of this argument down this route. It seems kind of interesting that they went there. Charles, as an American by reject as well, what do you think, sir?
Only by passport standards, thank you. I'm currently in the UK, so I don't know if I can answer that. But what I get drawn to, the satirist in me, is I see Myron Gaines in the chat, and I don't think of him as a political figure. So it's like having me discuss political things. I just don't know enough. And my brain dead mind goes, oh, why is Myron Gaines in there and wanting to say something? I'm dying to know, isn't he the fresh and fit guy?
Is he?
He is.
That is that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes, he's there because, let's just say since they lost a lot of ability to monetize and reach out on other platforms, so they hug the heels of other political and social figures to get back at their former popularity. Yeah. They used to be huge, like crazy numbers they used to be pulling. And then as they kind of fell, they reached out to grab other people's hands to hopefully stop the fall.
And that's where I'm drawn to think that all of this is just grifting. I'm not saying one side or another. I'm just saying
I do think that Myron genuinely believes what he's saying. From
if it
what
affected
I've seen,
my
his
paycheck,
behavior.
I would believe a lot in it, sure.
But I do also believe that this is entirely like he's trying to network and whatever with these.
But you think Fuentes works in with his ideology and everything? Like he's an alpha?
No, but they make it work. The alt-right and these people are very accepting these days. You can be anything. You can be a black man. You can be from any part of the world. You can be Asian. You can be South American. And the Nazis and neo-Nazis will take you because they are very desperate at this point. You know, it's the same thing how you can be hardcore Stalinist communist and a trans person, even though Stalin is rolling his game the entire time. But, these people they've changed their trans, the movements have changed with time, okay?
And I want to reiterate, I don't hate the players so much. I do hate the game. It's ridiculous. And you could call it jealousy. It is. Listen.
Are we partaking in it?
Sort of.
Yeah. I guess.
Certainly not benefiting financially the same way, that's for sure.
We're indulging in it. We're indulging the space.
Feeding the beast.
Let's finish it then. We got so far. We got to finish off.
Yeah, we got like 10 seconds.
I was gonna say, with the whole, I think that they're both tracking things. I don't think that, what is it? They're both sides are tracking things, but I don't know about what is it? People have mentioned it before, but about whether or not people are being, what is it? If their arguments are based in belief, or are they calculated for outcomes based off of, like like grifting, like they're there to make an impact in order to get an audience, or are they there because they believe what they're saying? And I believe that there are probably, at least on one side, because obviously Destiny is by himself, and I have no idea to comment on that. But he's probably there. Anyways, the other side definitely has a mixed bag of people, and I don't know who is who as far as whether they believe it or whether they're there they just know the talking points and are there to deliver them in order to get some clout, some recognition. And Destiny could be either or both. I don't know, but either way, I believe that both sides are tracking something that's real. It's just about like how it connects to reality, and what is the actual truth?
But that's like, 9 seconds.
We understand we have no appetite for it.
Okay. Is this supposed to be about being unbanned, or is this about the #1 news media truster to defend the State Department's?
Okay, I didn't like this script, to be honest, but as someone who watched the whole thing. But I wanted to, again, quickly reiterate my position after Andrew has said what he wanted. Looking into all of these people's background, I know a little bit about each of them, and more than enough about many of them to draw conclusions about whether or not they approached it with good faith. And based on how they have acted in the past, I'm willing to give Destiny the benefit of doubt that if the conversation had been with people in an environment where there was truly the spirit of discussion, he would be capable of having, a constructive, good faith, actual philosophical conversation. I'm not so much willing to give the benefit of the doubt to others in that chat group, but I've seen Destiny do good faith conversations before when he's given the chance. And not so much the others. So nothing good is going to come out of this anyway. Yeah.
When he gets triggered in the right way, he's.
If you start to beat a woman personally, he will beat back, probably. Pretty understandable. But I've seen him have his conversations with Shapiro and Peterson were leagues ahead in every single way. Those were super interesting, actually.
So he's capable, which makes him disappointing after that.
Seneca Finch Fuentes got unbanned on Twitter, I think, numerous times, but there was a time when he got unbanned and then immediately got banned again because started a I Love Hitler group or something. Now he got unbanned again. I don't know how long it will last.
Yeah, that's why he was in this. This was a Twitter thing.
Yeah, Twitter call.
If he was banned on Twitter, he wouldn't be able to be on that, I don't think.
It didn't even have the conversation. Didn't even have that much of an effect, honestly, because I've seen the repercussions of it, and everyone on Twitter was like, Destiny boo, and everyone on YouTube was like, Destiny yay. So it doesn't seem to make any difference. It's just the sides are there as usual. On Twitter, people were like, there's a cockpit of a personal attack. And YouTube, everyone was like, Destiny totally destroyed Andrew Tate and all of these fucking Nazi losers. Nothing good came out of it aside from the
I don't know. That's why I'm thinking maybe Stitch and Adam, they haven't covered this yet, because they're like, what will we get from this?
I think all of this is just a microcosm, or perhaps the opposite, of just the internet as a whole, because outrage and complaint gets all the attention. Meanwhile, what really gets done?
Yeah, exactly. What's the point, I suppose? It's like, yeah, okay.
I mean, you're not going to get views or clicks or, write-ons if you'd say, here's why something's brilliant. I mean, you can, but not the way this shit does.
Yeah.
Woof.
That's true. It's unfortunate. This,
Yeah.
I think you're cynical Charles now. Cynical and Finch
That's why we're flirting in the chat.
Yeah. The sentence stop. Okay, so shall we do Pop-Tart things? Let's do a palate cleanser.
Ugh, of all things to cleanse the palate.
Oh, you don't want a nice cleansing of Pop-Tart things?
It's definitely not dirty, that's for sure.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So, I don't know, like, I guess it's just kind of interesting. I'm seeing, like, nobody come out, like, championing this, but a lot of people are coming out to, like, drag Jerry over his past, like, for this. So, the Pop-Tarts movie, it's this parody movie that Jerry Seinfeld released on Netflix, like, last Friday, I think.
Unfrosted.
And, yeah, Unfrosted. And it's very much a parody movie. You know, it's Jerry Seinfeld. He's pretty clean. But the discourse that I keep hearing is just like, who is this for? I don't know, Charles. I think I heard you say this as well.
I think I said that 15 times in 5 minutes, actually.
Yeah. So it's not just you, but I've noticed it in, like, I don't know, maybe like 10 thumbnails from like different YouTube reviewers. And then almost every review that I saw of this, everyone's just basically saying, like, who is this for? I don't know.
Have you watched it? Who's watched it here?
I'm raising my hand, so me. Fair enough. I was contemplating it, but yeah, I don't think it would get many views. But yeah, I don't know.
So, we want your
review. Well, I think overall it's okay. So it's a parody. Charles, are you familiar with the movie that it's parodying at all?
Which movie?
So I think it's called The Right Stuff, but it's the like space race movie. So it's like almost parodying it like a lot, like beat for beat. And I don't hear anybody like factoring that into like the reviews. It's just like, who the hell is this for? Like, what? I don't know, which got me kind of thinking, I don't know, do parody movies have a certain feeling? Like, is there only so far that a parody movie could ever get? Like, is a parody on anyone's top 10 list?
Usually topical is a big thing for parody. I don't know, maybe some of you know better than I do, but was The Right Stuff on the end of anybody's tongue in the last 10 years?
No, so that's the thing. Like, it's a movie from like 30 something years ago. Yeah, it's not exactly topical. And then a lot of the characters in this are kind of characters from long ago.
Well, I think
I don't know
if I could have a moment. I think that
yeah, please.
The what stands the test of time is if the jokes stand on their own. If the comedy stands on its own, what is it? Like Hot Fuzz is kind of a parody of the genre, and I think that stands on its own. Again, by same group, Shaun of the Dead, I think stands on its own. I think that the Police Academy movies stand on their own, even though they're parodies.
Yeah, no matter what, timeless. Yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of became its own thing because, like, I would say Police Squad, which is the TV show that it was built on, like, that was a parody, but I don't know. They just kind of did their own. I guess they're just parodying like all. So that's what I would ask. Like, would Scream then be a parody movie? Because they're referencing a whole bunch of tropes, but, you know, like they're kind of doing it tongue in cheek. Is it then a parody movie if, like, Naked Gun is a parody movie?
Yeah.
That's not,
so
I would say that Scream is not a parody movie.
Well, it
executes jokes in the same
meta. Way. It's meta, but it's not a parody necessarily.
Because a parody is supposed to make you laugh, and I don't know, Scream was scary for people.
The difference between your traditional airplane type movie, you need to know the source material, whereas something like Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Scream, they'll give you what they're going to mock. they're in the film itself. They don't depend on you knowing what they're referencing in the film, like something like Airplane does. Whereas Scream, Hot Fuzz, those movies, they'll give you the for instance and show it to you. It's I don't know how much different that is.
Okay, I guess I just maybe it's because Scream was before my time in terms of watching horror movies. I'm not that much of a horror person, so
neither am I.
The fact that Scream was not a yeah, definitely not. Scream was not a Scream was something I wouldn't watch because it was supposed to be a scary movie for me. So I don't see it as a parody. But it isn't supposed to make you laugh. So that's the thing. When it comes to parody, what I think of is laughter.
I meant the references.
Sure.
I didn't mean the comedy. Like visual references, you need to know what they're talking about. I'm not saying you need to know to laugh, but the difference between something like Airplane and Scream is Scream will reference and or show you the joke they're going to pay off later. If I said that, I apologize. That's not what I meant.
No, I don't. It seems like my definition of parody is off. Everybody else has a different one, which seems to be collective. It doesn't have to be about a laugh, making you laugh.
Well,
I also wanted to quickly say that I think parodies can be in top. Well, maybe it's just me, but for me, Spaceballs is up there. I just want to say
Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein, like a lot of Mel Brooks is up there for sure.
Parodies can be, and Spaceballs can be enjoyed, even though much of the humor will be lost by someone who hasn't seen Star Wars. So I do think parodies have a really solid place, and they deserve to be there in people's top 10s even. But that's an interesting discussion to go down about, like the references itself, etc., etc. But it's even if Spaceballs
does say for comedic effect.
Yes.
Yeah, over here it says for comedic effect, and here it says humorous. But over here, it's a different one. It's parody is a creative work designed to imitate, comment on, which that all works together, and market subject by means of satirical or ironic imitation. Yeah, just because of ironic, that doesn't mean it's for
yes.
comic.
It can just explore the meta. Like if you if you remove all of the quirkiness from Spaceballs, you would still have the outfits, the settings. It would still clearly be a parody of it. But if you remove all of those and you do something else, Star Wars, that's just Star Wars. If you have Scream, it can just be an exploration of the meta, and the idea not necessarily is a parody.
Okay, so is Rebel Moon a parody?
Ah, what are you doing?
It's Dionysus. I didn't do that. Here's old comedy. There you go.
Much better.
Greek statue penis in the middle of the screen. Damn, jump scare.
Scream.
I love how even the preview was focused on that part. Like it's obviously the most important thing you have to see when you hover over it with your mouse.
I was like, how did this happen?
There's a comedian who talks about porn parody. Pretty funny.
I mean, it's still called a parody. I don't know if you're supposed to laugh at it. So
there you go. So
don't think too much about it. My joke gets destroyed if you start doing that.
Okay, well, look, fine. I think the broader definition is better, because you were talking about that in any case. That's why Scream fits into that, because it's an imitation and an exaggeration, and that's what it's using. That's what the parody part is for. Just the way that I've experienced parodies is obviously the ones that I enjoy the most have been for humorous effect. Clearly, the ones that came to mind immediately were those parody movies that actually it was humorous. So that's just how I've experienced it. We can move on. Sure. The point is that the question was whether a parody belongs in someone's top 10. It's doing something. It's a function. Is it a good movie or not?
Like, I love Spaceballs. I love Young Frankenstein, Airplane, Shaun of the Dead, Galaxy Quest, Scary Movie. I mean, they're traditionally parodies, but like, I don't know, all those are great, but I don't know if they're quite like top 10. Like, does doing a parody kind of, I don't know, is a parody movie in any of your top 10s? Or top
I guess what
whatever
you could
list you
argue
have.
is that because it's parody, it's not as original because it's taking an already existing idea and therefore already has something to work rather than just you starting from a blank state, maybe. But I don't. There's something there that needs to be dug up in another discussion.
Are the movie nerds? So tell us. The question is, what's in your? Are there parodies in your top 10 or whatever? Or do they have their own section for you and you'll keep them there and rate them against each other, but they won't be in your favorite movies? Like
the first two Edgar Wrights are pretty high for me. Both Hot Fuzz and
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead are very high for me.
Shaun of the Dead
Same.
is flawless,
Same.
but I'm not sure if it's hovering around like the top 10, but I don't know if it would quite be there for me. But yeah, I love.
And that's just because
everything that
it
he's
does
done.
what it's supposed to do. It does what it's supposed to do.
There's a high level of craft.
It's high skill. Yeah, it's a high craft. It's very well done. That's why it's there, not because it just so happens to be a parody, and it does its parody very well instead of doing its drama very well or doing whatever very well. That's the point. Okay, and then bringing this back to Pop-Tart. This is supposed to be a parody of Pop-Tart, but unfrosted. It's supposed to be a parody.
So you've got Kellogg's and Post, and they're in a race to see who can get to the moon or get to the space, which was it parodies like the U.S.-Russian space race from that movie where they have to bring in this special squad. So it's a parody of this movie from like 30-something years ago, and then yeah, it's kind of the two big giants trying to get to the Pop-Tart the first. Whoever can get there first wins this giant breakfast race, if you will. And it's all told to a kid who ran away from home. It's interesting. It's I don't know if anyone has put it as like a 10 out of 10 or anything like that, but like
that's what I'm dying to know. Because
1.2 thousand people put it as a 9.6
out of 10.
Sorry, yeah.
I think it's above average. To me, it's not the worst thing. I think this movie should exist. There's so many funny things, but I think what it really plays off of is a lot of cameos. I don't know if that's going to hold up for like any repeated value. Like any chuckle I got, I think is from the surprise of what happened, which is sad because, it's Seinfeld and it's his directorial debut. And a lot of the shots are really beautiful. Like, I got to be honest, there's one shot of a Pop-Tart in a toaster that is just like breathtaking. He has a way of like kind of filming these things very similar to like the shuttle blasting off. It's kind of fun, but it's a very goofy type of comedy.
The humor is very on the nose too, like very on the nose. Like here's how Fruit Loops got its name. We're talking about an orange drink. It's got a tang to it. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, but
awesome.
A lot of that was kind of callbacks to the movie as well. Like, yes, not only does he do that, but if I remember right, Tang kind of features prominently in that one as well. But I might be combining two different space movies.
Which you would need the topicality of it. You need it to be. This seems like it's a very niche audience that has to have this in their memory quite clearly, so they can go, "Ha, that's relatable. That's the joke."
I think you can still get like the whole idea that, it's these two companies in this ridiculous like space race to the Pop-Tart. Like they're making way more of a big deal to like a toaster pastry than it deserves. I think you could understand that without like understanding the original, but I think it works on more levels if you are familiar with it.
Okay. So
what about
recommended or not?
Gray, the thing that Chef Boyardee creates with somebody else, was that in
no?
Is that just so weird?
So they added that, but the whole like bringing in the special team and they're like all stars and everything like that. That is almost directly from that, where you then get to see like all these big shots and you get to see like their entrance and slow-mo and everything.
Yeah,
like, parts of that are a parody, but yes, they create a new life form, and that's not in the original. At least they didn't tell that part in that film.
Felt so out of place and bizarre.
Yeah, well, what about the dumpster kids? Like, did they feel like they're in
Their
place?
dialogue felt
What about this?
Yeah, she's not bad though.
No, I actually didn't
wow.
hate her,
No.
which is tough. So she plays the competition. So they're Kellogg's, right? She's Post.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Marjorie Post, who there's a title screen at the end that tells you that she used to have the Mar-a-Lago or something like. It's like, why is this in the movie? What does it matter?
well,
I
they
guess
need to make sure that you
joke
hate the
is that
character.
It doesn't matter. We're telling you random stuff.
Well, but she's
Okay.
associated with Trump posthumously, so hate her.
So weird.
Silly. That's stupid. Okay, so what were people saying about this Grey that online? People were just saying who is this
Just
for?
like
So
that
nobody
there
really likes
is
this.
kind of no audience for it. So I was just wondering, like, is there an audience for parody? Like, what is kind of the last big parody thing that's out there?
It's gotta be like on the tip of people's tongues. It has to be somewhat recent. Like Armageddon riffed right stuff, and that was 1998. And even then, it was just kind of like, all right, well, not very current, but
Yeah.
You need to hear.
I had a comment.
I think
You
the
had a comment?
audience for this is the movie that it's parodying, but nobody seems to really remember it, so it doesn't really have an audience.
Well, Grey does. Grey.
No,
Grey
I
is
think the Grey looked it
understandable.
up. I think the Grey was keyed in. I don't think Grey knew the movie ahead of time.
I did.
So Charles, you had a
I
comment?
suggested
You
it
did?
to I suggested it to a former podcast that I was on. I wanted to actually see it because it's Jerry Seinfeld's directorial debut. It's the first thing that
That's
he's
not what
kind
I
of
meant.
helmed since
No.
Beamer movie.
You're talking about the right
I meant
stuff,
the
right?
original movie.
Oh, the right stuff. I've seen that, but goddamn, it's over a decade. Like I'm trying to recall it, and then I'm still kind of combining that with like other space race movies. But from what I understand, it's almost a direct one with that. And I remember a bunch of the shots, like how the shuttle is taking off, is very similar to the toaster. But yeah,
Okay.
and the bunker scene.
I had a comment from somebody who didn't have a face on their Google Plus platform program thing. They said they were 74 going on 11, and the movie was perfect for them. They got all the references.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got all the references.
It was made for someone. There is the time.
There he is.
You know what the folks at Netflix are? They're like, you know what? We really need to hit these 70-year-old infants. Like, let's start playing to them.
Well, I don't know. I do like goofy, silly humor. It's not always for me. I don't know. This one was like the most effective for me, but I think I got all the references. Even then, I don't know. I guess I wanted a little bit more.
The joke, though, like you need to be a little bit stronger than that.
Same thing with a cameo. Like that shouldn't be all the joke is, but I don't know. There are a couple cameos that really hit me off guard that I think were funny, and the lines do hold up as well.
Bill Burr is funny. Tom Carvel. It's like, really, how many people are going to know what Tom Carvel looks like? People on the East Coast know his voice.
Yeah. Some people are upset with the Cronkite thing too. I don't know. I thought he was kind of fun. I love a lot of the actors that are in this, so I'm happy to see what's going on, but I don't know. I guess I would want so much more from so many like hard hitters in comedy that are there. I was really hoping it would hit like on another level. B movie to me kind of holds up, and I've gone back and visited a couple times. Like it is goofy and over the top, but I don't know. I guess I was just hoping for something a little bit more like that than this. It is kind of an interesting brand of humor.
Nothing's offensively bad, but nothing really sticks out to me either. And the fact that there's 4 writing credits is really troublesome for me. And if anybody wants to know who the hot take coming, who the brains behind Seinfeld were, here's a step towards Larry David.
Yeah, I mean, Curb.
Even normies like me know that.
Well, Well, Curb just wrapped up, and the last 2 seasons were really, really strong. Actually, last 3. I think Spite Store was like 3 years ago. But I don't know. I'm a huge fan of it. So I got to be honest. The track record is with Larry here. But
is Curb a prequel to Kirby? I'm sorry, I had to.
It would be great if it was. Perhaps he just starts eating everything.
You know, Dragon Ball Z. It has been done before. We just add one letter and next thing, or remove one.
Yeah, Ronnie, there was just a slight reference to Right Stuff. They did a slow-mo shot of the not fit guys who were getting sent to space with the music. And I think somebody even says, talk about the wrong stuff. That was it. That was the only reference to Right Stuff in the movie.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was also kind of the scenes and like who the characters were. And then like, the fact that they're going to NASA and he just happens to have like the Mars rover, the whatever rover to pick up there's like references to it, but yeah, I don't know how effective it was.
Yeah.
You said reference is not the joke, right? But isn't reference the parody? That's the point. That's the point of parody. You have to make sure that it fits with what you're parodying. So the reference is important.
Well, if you're going to do it, if it works, it works. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to explain or get the thoughts out of my head out to my mouth. If you subvert the reference to make it humorous, it's doing something new with it.
You got to do something interesting with your reference.
Yes.
Not just otherwise you're just remaking it, I suppose. What you're saying,
Right.
The quality of the reference, parody is not just the reference. It's the use of the reference. It's the creative exaggeration, how you do it.
It's an inside. Go ahead, Gray.
Sorry, I was going to say they had that bunker scene, which is like extreme exaggeration, and it is parodying another scene from the other one where they're going to test it out for the first time, see if their side will go, and then it ends in kind of a tragedy. I don't know. I think they did an exaggerated version of it. Like I wanted to see where it was going, but I don't know. Is it too childish or over the top? Like the fact that it's all needless.
I think the scene that immediately follows it is just silly and not in a good way, where it's just like, okay, I don't care about this character. That's basically what I should be thinking. It's mishandled in my opinion.
It's not executed well. Not fit.
It could be better.
Polite. Yes, he is. He's in England now. He's learning to be polite. Hydra does need to go, so I just want to get onto gaming things. We can get back to the Pop-Tart stuff, so maybe let some of the
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to think on that parody thing, but there's not a lot to think about with that movie. So I think we're done thinking. But thank you guys for exploring parody.
About parody and what makes parody, like just think about it. It's the question for homework. What makes a good parody? But I think we figured that out. We were like,
thinkers give you homework. That's right, everyone. That's why you're here, obviously. Not to relax or chill with us. No.
But porn parody operates in the inverse, where it's just like, hey, you like Walking Dead? Do you want to see a bunch of them have sex? Here it is. Like, so
I think we can have a think on what is parody, what makes good parody. That's
thank you for transcending the original work.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's go into gaming things while we still have Hydra. Okay. Are there any gaming things you want to talk about, Hydra? What topics that you wanted to go over? Because I have
specifically, anything new? I don't think. I think I addressed it last time, specifically what I wanted, though I might be misremembering. I'm pretty sure we talked about all of the relevant things. I'm not sure, when did the Helldivers thing happen? When they went with the decision and decided to reverse it in the end due to the enormous fan pressure? How many days ago was that?
Yeah, that was this weekend.
That was like a week ago.
Yeah.
I think it happened like...
Yeah, I don't think they'd reversed it by the time we had our last thing.
No, I think the reverse.
Maybe it was Friday.
It
might have been Friday. But
I don't think it was a week ago. It was just a couple of days ago. I'm frankly surprised that Sony's
Monday. Cynical says it's Monday.
It's 3 days ago. That's about matches with what I remember, but I wasn't sure. Yeah. So
3 days ago. Yeah.
From what I've seen, well, it's a good example of again what not never to do as a creator. Again, I'm going to use the allegory or the analogy. Sorry. Of the Roman emperor deciding to raise taxes. Even if it's the most justified and the most effective thing to do, it will never be popular. The Helldivers devs originally intended to release their games with you having to link it to a PSN account, but they decided to get rid of that idea on launch, and so it didn't become a thing. But technically, Sony they could ask and then pressure them back into bringing that back anyway, because it was originally planned, but the executives failed to realize how insanely unpopular this would be, aside from the fact that games, especially live service games, live off of being enjoyable and convenient to use, which you would be kind of cutting back on. Yep.
I have a question because part of the news that I heard of this was that actually, and this is from Night's Watch, that it was actually a feature that they hadn't gotten it working yet, and so they released without it, and then they always intended to have this happen.
One of the reasons that was one of the reasons they released without it.
So it wasn't working, and then the update supposedly.
It's not just it wasn't working, but they kind of also decided to not go in that direction for a time. From what I've seen, I could be wrong. And then the course was they would have just let it go by themselves, but it wasn't them who made the decision to bring it back. It was specifically Sony who said, no, I don't care if it works fine. I don't care anything else. You gotta force them to do it. The problem with that was, of course, that you are marking off a bunch of countries from the map from where players could play from.
Yeah.
And honestly,
it was 171 countries.
Yeah. A lot of them you were just fucked if you like.
Yeah,
I mean, wouldn't have been able to play Helldivers with some people I know. Let's just say that. And it's
very Foxroom.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's a lot by the number, 171 countries. But I mean, collectively, what is the player base
population who would have played the game? Yeah, that's different.
Probably not that much, but. It's not that they should be ignored, but like people are saying, "Oh my gosh, it's such a huge number." It's
I think it's the principle that matters. That you don't post something.
I think it's the principle. I think the
principle
is way more important. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but
they bought it.
I personally haven't seen the narrative that you refer to as much. The "oh my god, you're marking off half the world. How could you do this?" I personally more so seen as the everyone has gotten used to this. You didn't kind of mention this, like you forcing it now is kind of analogous to somebody buying a TV, and then when you finally bring it home and plug it in, it says, actually, you need to pay a subscription to this completely different service to be able to watch anything on this, which has been done in real life, by the way. But it's even if it was originally planned always, and it was the most justifiable decision and everything, even then, it wasn't the developers that decided to bring it back for good reason, because they realized it would be inconvenient and unpopular with the players, even if they originally planned it. It was Sony who forced them to bring it back because they weren't in touch with the player base and how they would react. Again, Roman Emperor, even if it's like you are in the middle of a massive crisis, you're at war with Persia, barbarians are invading, there is a massive plague, raising the taxes might be a logical conclusion to get more capital to work with. The people are still going to hate you, and it's not going to help into your public image. It's again, this is a calculated business decision that needs to be made with a lot of Q&R and looking around, kind of scouting out the area, which just wasn't made. It gives off the vibes of the arrogant management decides without being in touch with the players. The problem is that also the excuse they gave us total bullshit. It was that it will provide better security for you, which is like you are linking your account into a network that is hacked multiple times each year and stuff gets leaked constantly. That is not a security buff, that is a security concern, obviously. So they aren't getting any brownie points for trying to sell it to you as anything other than a selfish thing. Even if it was originally planned, even if it is completely justifiable, the way they went about it was super unpopular and for good reason. That's essentially my 2 cents on Helldivers.
Yeah, agreed. The
problem, again, it says a lot that none of the devs were behind it. It was the publisher behind it. That's also just my personal belief that I think some publishers should work very differently.
Well, one of the problems with the whole thing is that Sony, according to the community manager, who is responding, who theoretically is responding based off of information provided to them by the company, and they're not just making stuff up. So the community manager was saying that it gives them more control on how they how they can ban or suspend players. And the only thing that would allow them to do is that's different, really, is that it would allow them to track and ban people based off of their PSN accounts. So the point being is that they could, so that they would be able to permanently ban people without them being able to make additional accounts. So the point is that they want to block people and not just protect behavior as it becomes a problem, but they genuinely seem to want the ability to block people from ever playing the game, to have permanent infractions. And I get the concept.
Console. I mean,
yeah, I get the concept of ban evasions and wanting to protect against that, but I think that it's a necessary kind of evil, because I don't think that you should be in the you should be in the business of it's like piracy. Piracy is generally software piracy is generally in concept bad, but there's actually a lot of good that comes out of it. And it's kind of a necessary I don't get that reference. I'm sorry. But there's a good
You wouldn't download a car, would you?
Yeah.
I would download a car. It would be so convenient to just have a car. But it
has good benefits
for the, just press the button.
It has
boom, Ferrari. Let's go.
Yeah, there's a good benefit for the community of piracy. Is that example is that it protects against software disappearing when developers go under, or games that theoretically not theoretically. I know that there are many examples, I don't have a list in front of me, of games that theoretically would have disappeared if not for piracy. Nobody has a record of the physical copies, and the developers are out of business, so the games would be gone. But because of quote unquote piracy sites, the games have a new life. They continue to exist. And so even though there is this thing that exists that you want to combat, like the negative aspects of it, it does provide a useful benefit for the community and for the world, in that sense. And so you shouldn't like have totalitarian policies that are like these all-encompassing policies that allow them to just, have this massive power, not just for the because it's extreme, but because it can have unintended effects, right? So you could actually, somebody who made a mistake, or somebody else who hit a wrong button, or there was a misunderstanding in chat, could have their account banned, right? And not necessarily all of their games, but maybe this one game is just banned, flat out banned. Even if they're being kind of so in the case of a misunderstanding, there's no recourse. They're not going to listen, right? Theoretically there is, but it's been my experience that miscommunications and refusal to go back on or listen to it being a miscommunication does happen. These things do happen. So you'll be bricking. There will be some percentage of the player base who will be banned via accidents and then not be able to access the game.
Yeah.
And that theoretically could be addressed by creating a new PlayStation account, but this would block that from being a thing. Because you wouldn't be able to, because they would know like who you are, right? Or making some kind of new account or something. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, because you're kind of bound to the one
quick
PlayStation.
Words before I have to go, because I only have like 2 minutes left. I wanted to say quickly before that all that to say, circle back quickly to let me finish my thought. What I was trying to say is that if Sony really would have said up front that it's about being able to ban and like protect the community from malicious players, or like enforce universally our rules and to not let people ban, evade, etc., that would have been better, because the community would have at least seen that they attempt to be transparent. But they lacked the necessary foresight and willingness and chose to lie instead and say something that everyone saw was obviously bullshit. So if they had this good reason, they chose not to share it with the community. Again,
no,
it shows
they did say it.
Complete,
that's where I'm getting it from.
But the point is that at the wrong place.
Yes.
The problem is you need to be more in touch with what you need to be more in touch with your community and how to get news to your community and to be able to be transparent with them, and so that you can deliver these things in a manner that doesn't provoke a massive backlash and preview bombing. It's just that even if after now or later or at some point they say, actually, we only wanted to help, it would have been great if they opened with that in a good explanation. To me, it just reeks of bad management. But yes, that's what I wanted to say quick before. Sorry, I have to leave real quick. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't always have a time zones and everything. Hate them as much as the next guy. I wish I could stay for longer, but not today, sadly. Thank you guys for letting me be here. And I'll be on the Discord if anyone wants to join. I'll be scheduling the events, and I'll let Gray to take over and start these and supercharge his role as comedic relief in this panel. See you guys.
Perfect. Zan, thank you for blessing us with your time.
Indeed. Thank you.
The fact that Gray's lid just keeps kind of doing this every now and again, it's fucking killing me. Look, just kind of.
My character's a mouth breather. What can I say?
Even when it's quiet, it's just like,
there you go.
Ma'am. It's just delicate.
So whenever he makes any noise, you know what? I think just Charles and I need to have a laugh now. Okay. That's the thing. It's like being in church or something where you're not supposed to laugh. So you're like,
that makes it worse. Yeah. And then you just start thinking of the thing. All right, don't laugh.
Gosh, I remember. I was in. Was it middle school? something like that, where we were taking a test, and for some reason I had like the same kind of like fit hit me, and I just started laughing. I couldn't stop, and I think it was because I just like I was trying to hold it in and I couldn't. I knew I shouldn't be doing it, and for some reason that made it funnier, and I just started laughing.
Somebody cost
while we were taking a test.
No, because you're just like you're laughing because first you laughed because it was funny, and then you're laughing because you're laughing, and then you just it's exponential. So you just short your brain out. Just
it's like this constant loop of things that are just it's lost all meaning at the point that you're like, I can't control this anymore.
That's why I actually did put in on my bingo card. I did put uncontrollable laughter, and when I put that on, I was like, it's because of me. I do that a lot of times. Like I'm trying to tell you guys something that I think is funny, and then I start crying, laughing, and I'm the only one that's doing it. But Charles was doing it, and I was doing it. So it was out of control. We were feeding off each other. So
Greg, can I know what your prompt was for that? Because it looks like an old school like diner soda stand, but it looks like there's nothing but mustard in the shop there.
Yeah, I think I just said like a mustard store, and this is the first thing that came up. So, it's kind of nice. They got like a bar and everything, but yeah, I didn't actually make that one. I think it's real, but I don't know. Perhaps European.
32 flavors of mustard.
You got to try them all, man.
All wrenches are. Except for Lucy, are bastards. Okay, I read it. Okay, so does that count? We didn't have that because, because I if I get that one, then I get bingo. Because we don't have Dorcas. We did have Gray both sides something.
As always. What did I both sides now?
Andrew did discuss keyboards.
Fair enough. I guess there was the Andrew Tate thing. I guess that was kind of both sidesing.
We did have chat acts like based sovereign citizens because we had Benjamin there, but Foxroo hasn't gone underwater. Charles hasn't worn pink. God damn it! I'm losing. Okay.
Make it rain. That's your cue, chat.
So continuing with gaming things. So on Sunday, if you're not following Rosales, what's wrong with you? Go and subscribe to Rosales Comics on YouTube.
Indeed.
We us three. Actually, Charles, you were invited last time and you didn't pitch.
I showed up late. I forgot. I forget all the time.
No, but you were in chat there, yeah. So we were on Rosales' panel show on Sunday called the Sunday Wrap Up. And one of the topics was about Pokemon Go avatars turning ugly. And then we got into a big
heated
eventually. Yeah, and eventually Rosales just had to play like a bunch of clips to make us shut up.
So I think it would be kind of similar to some of the thoughts that you had expressed, but the opposing view was kind of like you're wrong to want to be able to make your avatar kind of attractive.
Well, no, it's okay. So the guy on the panel whose argument is basically like, why do you even care about having standards for a mobile game? Is basically their opinion.
All of its opinion.
Well, no, but I mean, my point is that he didn't say those literal words, but if I'm boiling down his opinion from what he said, he's like, I don't care about mobile game like graphics and avatars and stuff. And like the difference isn't really a big deal to me. The difference between what was there before and what's after, why do you care? And like, he's not giving any air to the argument of what is it? That they had an aesthetic and they changed not just the aesthetic. They didn't add aesthetic, right? They didn't add more choices. they took away the ones that existed, and they modified the characters that people had before and that they had liked.
Yes.
And part of the argument, right?
Yeah.
And part of the argument that was being pushed back upon is this idea of like, why do you care? It's like, well, I liked the other way it was. You know, and then they're saying, well, you shouldn't care. It was like, why? Why is that bad? It's almost this gaslighting thing about like having like having an aesthetical standard, or it's like if somebody actively likes the standard that exists now, the way that the characters are now, and they think that they like that, and they took that away and said, no, you have to have this other aesthetical standard, I would say we should be adding things. We shouldn't be we shouldn't be taking away taking away or replacing stuff for people who actively like things the way they exist.
My avatar is changed now. It's not that they have this the old avatar and there's extended options. My avatar is a goon now. It's like walking around like it's horrible. Like
that's ableist.
And I was made I was made fun of for caring, but the principle of it is okay. I get it. Yeah, you can expect less from mobile games, and also the comment was made that only women are upset about it, and that's just how unlikable this is. It doesn't matter what your character looks like. It's weird. And what happened was it was not extended that you have different body types, which is what inclusion is about. They just made these really ugly, awkward avatars highly unnecessarily, and
they look pretty sturdy though.
I've actually got a film of. I'll share it on Discord. I've got a film of. I was filming it because this is my Pokemon phone. I use a different phone.
You got a burner phone for Pokemon?
Yeah. Look at this. Look at her. Look at her go. Look at her go. She's gonna walk a little bit.
Yeah, go.
She even walks funny.
What an idiot! Learn how to walk.
She even look at her. Look at God. It's horrible. And then her face is also like you ruined her. Like she's horrible. She's horrible. Look at her. She's got a loaf of bread between her legs as well.
Oh, why? You leave her yeast problems out of this.
And her hand's also massive as well. And I was very happy to have my hairdo finally available because you could only have ponytails. So that was I was happy about. But like, look at this. I mean, okay, like she looks exactly like my hair. But still.
Is it just me or is Kitty behind? Like the audio and video is out of sync. Is it just me?
It's probably because of. No, it's probably everyone because of my. I'll stop with the virtual camera. Just hold on.
I didn't notice it until you said that, and then
it was really distracting. I was like trying to listen to her, and then like, because like she's asking to look at the video with her phone and stuff, and so then I'm looking at her and she's talking, and like it's not matching up, and I'm like, yeah. Anyways, so nope. You need to select a new camera source.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, well, now you can see the mat. And yeah, here's her face.
Why do you have a Verizon hat on?
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'll take my head off.
Why do you have a Verizon hat on?
It's not is it a Verizon hat?
That's the Verizon logo.
Kind of like it. Yeah.
I'll take it off.
Do you get free Fios if you use that hat?
No.
Kind of cool.
Listen,
totally worth it.
I'll shill, whatever. Just keep my bill down.
Or just take my hat. There, I have this hat. We could do that.
And it's also not a problem to be
ACDC-ish.
like, to have mixed feelings too. You were like if Kitty was talking about like, well, I like the hair options.
Yeah,
now,
I like the hair option, but my face is gone. The face is like, what is wrong with her face? I'll show you what these faces are, man.
I have
the eyes are kind of far apart. Sorry,
look at this,
Charles, you were saying something?
No. I have a new suggestion for Thinker Bingo. Having discussions and or complaints about how a video game character looks.
Look at that.
Do you think that that's wrong, though? Like, do you understand the other guy's argument? I'm not lumping you in the same boat as somebody else, but like, that kind of seemed to be kind of the gist of your thing was like, I don't know that it makes that big of a deal. Is it wrong to want certain aesthetics for your character?
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong.
Well, like, okay, here's the thing.
But parameters. I mean, if they took it away, it's odd. But if they never had it, it's a little different.
Yes, I agree. If she was this, if this is all I had, because again, I was not complaining that I only had a ponytail. Okay, I wasn't.
Is that a game that can be influenced via purchases?
You can buy
in-app purchases. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you can buy.
Oh, interesting.
And people are like, oh, how important is your avatar? This is a lot of things that you can buy are clothes and things for your avatar.
Interesting.
You can earn in-game currency by winning against having a gym, your Pokemon controller gym for a certain amount of time.
Is there a path to getting the way you want to look?
No. There's only different outfits that you can get, but in terms of faces and stuff like that, it's not like PUBG where you win, you can get a different face pack if you have a certain loot cache or whatever thing. There's appearance, which is available to everyone, and then the cosmetics, as in the hats and the shit and whatever you put on your face. That's you can get stickers, things like that. That's the cosmetics that you can buy. But you don't even have to buy them. Obviously it's easier if you just buy in-game currency, but it is possible to just rack up coins in order to buy cosmetics.
It's not that I don't understand gamers, Cam. I am one. I guess I used to be one. I just, every time we have some sort of discussion, and again, I'm more of an outsider than not, it just seems like visual appeal of a character gets brought up more than anything. And I'm kind of crazy.
You don't like the visual appeal?
The shaking doesn't help.
It's so good.
Can we not have Gray twerk, please?
He's kind of twerking.
You're gonna have to deal with it.
That's his version of twerking. He's gonna make it twerk. Make it twerk for next week. Come on. Do it so that wiggles its little bum.
So
I forgot what I was going to say. So.
Okay. So what is it? There are
I understand, Cam.
Discussion. No, there's different levels to the discussion. There are some people who just generally will want a certain aesthetic specifically, and then there are there's the censorship thing where they're like, okay, the game is announced to have a certain aesthetic, and then they are told to change it.
Well, to date myself a bit, I remember when Dead or Alive, the volleyball game, came out, and I don't remember it being a good volleyball game. I remember having it for a different reason. And I don't know. I don't, if they had that in the game and then took it away, that's kind of bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one of it's come out like, okay, so they said on like, let's take Stellar Blade. They said that the game was going to be uncensored, and then released a day one patch that censored stuff on it. So that actually annoyed a lot of people. Like, part of it is a messaging type of thing, where if the costumes were what they were always, then people probably wouldn't have had a problem with it. And there's also there also seems to be, there is definitely an assault on standards where people were people's standards and preferences, where people will argue about not only just they will claim that your preferences are a problem.
Well, I think making a big deal over visual standards is exploitable from the opposite end of the argument. And if there were more to it than just this person doesn't look good.
Well, no, because
and again, I really don't have investment in either end of the discussion.
Well, okay, so what is it? You will see a similar argument replicated in other aspects where somebody will like a particular like let's say a sandwich. Even this happens even with sandwiches, and they like the way a sandwich is made, right? And at first their favorite sandwich isn't available at their favorite shop, but then the trend moves away from having that kind of sandwich, so they have to make that sandwich themselves. No place sells that sandwich anymore. And
what is that?
And that can happen, right? And so
sugar tax, maybe.
Right? And so they will just, the thing that you like disappears. At first, maybe you complain. Maybe you complain. It's like, oh, the perfect example no longer exists. And then all of a sudden, the thing that you like in general no longer exists. And
that's the case for everything.
Well, no, that's why I'm bringing it up in this way. Is because there is that level, right? There is that. But then there's also when they message, and again, it's related to messaging. There are people who said okay, we have a problem. I'm just using this as an analogy. We have a problem that this particular bread is being used in sandwiches. It is it is made in a place that is very unethical via our standards, right? Because they use pesticides we don't agree with. Let's just say.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So they don't like this one farm or something, or where this bread is coming out of, or this one bakery. And so, or let's say Chick-fil-A kind of thing, right? Where the political donations of the company are problematic. So you can't eat at the whole place because of the political donations done by the people at the top.
I can't taste racism.
And so these things, they say, we have a problem with this thing existing, so we're going to change it so that you can't get it. And I think that's a lot of discussion as well, is the activism that exists in it. It's not just that, it's not the thing itself, it's what it represents.
The thing being the change?
Yeah, mostly. Usually it's a change. Usually it's it's somebody saying, hey, I don't want this thing to exist. And this was also used to be something that the left would champion, right? But now it's the left doing it, right? Where they're the religious right had a problem with Dungeons and Dragons and all this other type of stuff, and saying we shouldn't let this stuff be sold. This stuff should be outlawed. And so then the left the center and the left were like, no, you're overreacting. This stuff is not a problem. You are misunderstanding it to a certain extent, and to what level of it you do understand and have a problem with it is overblown and is a personal choice. And now it's the left doing similar things where they're like, no, we don't like this thing existing. And so it needs to go away. And the fact that anyone likes us is a problem. And so, again, it needs to go away. So it's no longer a personal choice. It's no longer the what is it? It's no longer a choice by the artist to make a decision. It's something that the artist needs to realize it's something that is wrong and is forced to change. And that actually is represented in Stellar Blade, though it does seem to be a little bit more, well, it's represented by the people as being something that they chose to do. They said, we wanted to appeal to a more Western audience, therefore we are going to censor the costumes a bit. Even though overwhelmingly the audience was saying they were buying it because it was uncensored.
Mm-hmm. Well, the censoring that they did do was minimal, but it comes down again to the principle.
But
of
still,
the
it's a principle.
And yeah,
of the thing.
I guess that is what Charles is hearing, because he's like, it seems like this is all you guys are talking about. This is all that there is in gaming at the moment, and it's like,
to be right
everywhere.
to be clear, the Pokemon Go issue, I didn't realize that you had something and they took it away without any.
Yeah.
I mean, if they took it away and made you, quote unquote, pay for it through
that would be even worse.
That'd be even worse.
Yeah. So it's not the same. I need to specify that.
Yeah.
EDF?
Much fun.
Who's EDF? Or what is EDF?
Who needs Stellar Blade? We got Grey Boubet.
There you go.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you need to change that. That needs to be 2 Bs.
Yeah. So when you're in that jar, you call yourself Grey Boubet.
But that may influence the way that people see it. It's kind of a Yana Laurel thing.
True.
Okay, so great is saying
make a decision.
I think Grey.
Is it a butt or a chest?
Yes, Grey. It's up to you. How do you identify?
Well, I mean, I didn't choose this. The creator chose this, and that is Lord Cameron. So
I'm just saying
it was kind of given to me. There is a correct answer, but nobody is wrong.
I see the palm of a hand.
You're actually correct. Stubby digits, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's just a grey hand in the. Yes, that's what it is. Gross. Okay. Clearly, Grey sporting a letter higher than B. Come on, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So look. Yeah. I guess we finished up our. Yeah. That's just what we wanted to cover again with Pokemon Go. It's just, hey. Yeah, they had something good and then they removed it. Principle of the thing. We're unhappy.
And which to look out for.
Postscript, Star Wars Outlaws, she doesn't look that bad anymore. I've been getting ads dumped on my lap to pay $175 or whatever the hell it is for that.
No, that's the worst part of it, is that their height was that the game is like, normally $70, which is the new price, and considering inflation, that makes sense. The dollar is just worth less, so games should reflect that. With what is it? With though with the additional costs going up to like, 150, was it $250 or something? It's like something crazy.
It's what a PS1 cost.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
And so they, what is it? They're hiding just like an additional mission and some extra stuff behind that. And it's like the worth of what they're giving you. It's one thing if like they were giving you tangible goods that whose retail value adds up to that additional cost. That's different. But
the discussion we had was about she looked like shit, and I've seen video of it now, and she doesn't look like shit. But yes, the price is that's ridiculous.
The price is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. I mean, especially for money. What you're getting. It's for what you're getting. Like this actually happened with Fallout 76. I don't know if you were following that. But
no,
they
trying to hook up with Dorcas to like be on his.
Yeah, no, the game is good now, but when it was at launch, it had a lot of misfirings. Like they were like had a canvas bag for like part of the extra. Edition.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So it was this canvas bag, but then they were like, "Oh, well, we didn't, we were advertised the extra as being a canvas bag, but really they gave you like this cheap nylon bag.
I remember those
for the
videos.
Same price.
Oh, the Resident Evil. What was the one that took Resident Evil that took place in Africa? That did the same thing.
Oh yeah. 5 was it?
Was it 5? Because I had the knapsack bag thing. It was bad quality.
Like you see how cool it looks, and then you like cool, and you. That's like that. There was outrage of that. I remember that. I didn't know fuck all about Fallout, but I was angry for everybody, and they were trying to get refunds because it's like this very epic special edition.
Yeah,
I still
5.
want to
I was right. Yeah, it was 5.
Jeez.
I was
so that wasn't the first time something like that had happened. So Resident Evil also messed it up.
No, when I had a house, I bought a lot of that special edition shit. Like Uncharted, I think, came with like a ring necklace and like art book. I waited a very long time for the order. Well, the shit that came was actually much stronger than the game itself.
Funny.
Like really good looking figures and
They also had like this Nuka-Cola like whiskey bottle type thing.
Want it?
But it was no, it was real bad. It was like really it was like this regular bottle with like, and then they had like this plastic form Nuka-Cola shape around it. And so because of that way it was designed, when you were pouring it, lots of people noticed that like the whiskey was going like from the bottle into the plastic form and not really pouring out. And so like it was super messy to pour. It caused a big mess when you did it. And the whiskey was super substandard. It was like actively bad. There's a lot of people. So like it was totally not worth it in any way. The what is it, Etsy fan made stuff, there was a lot of that. It was at least as equal and much cheaper or actively better.
I still want a Fallout Boy. And that's canon, by the way. My wife calls him Fallout Boy, and that's his name.
There you go.
Vault Boy? The little blonde guy with
There's Dune movie posters, but no Dune Blu-ray. Interesting.
Dune 1 or 2? The new one, too?
Both. There are posters for both, but not Blu-ray.
Dune Part 1 is on Blu-ray.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, that also just makes me think of, when you spend money on the physical medium, like you're expecting something awesome. You want the case to be pretty and all of that stuff. That's part of what would make someone buy So yeah, it's not. I don't know. Amazon just doesn't want me to have it.
4Ks.
It's because you live in that part of the world. They want to censor the sand.
No, I'm gonna try and find it anyway. So shall we do a Gartic vote?
Yeah.
I know there's only 4 of us, but that will just mean we get quicker rounds. Darling is still here, so we'll also get some cool pictures.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hold on. You guys don't know anything about me. Isn't advertising is supposed to know everything about me, and it's like it's advertising makeup. It's like
You don't know my story.
You don't know me. Know my life. Know my life. Okay, hold on. Just do that.
Whoa, waffle.
Whoa.
Yeah. Waffles sound good.
Take it away immediately.
I can't. It's waffles.
Mustard on waffle.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how some of these would play out. So fair enough.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere unless Gray gives us a drawing song. Charlie Pink.
Oh yeah, I'm not that today. It's misrepresentation.
Ooh, we've got an East
Hey,
Coast Dorcas.
East
Oh, it's
Coast
actually-
Dorcas.
Yeah.
The best coast.
No.
Well, now.
West
I'm not
Coast
even on
is
there.
the best coast. Come on.
Coasts are overrated.
Yeah, right. Oh wait, I'm on the coast, but still, I didn't used to. I think that's everyone that's here. Is Cameron here? Darling, Oxru. Cameron, are you not joining?
I can't compete with people like Darling.
Darling
I
at least
can.
makes it
But you don't
worthwhile.
try. You don't try to compete.
Okay. Oh, someone joined. Give me a second. Lady Cameron.
Oh, we got a Cameron.
Dorcas changed his name. Oh shit! I'm not plugged in.
Just East Coast slander.
He couldn't take part in the war.
Yeah, that was the thing, right? The thing we all
there was some
experienced.
beef.
Biggie Tupac.
It was a thing.
So are we going to... Oh, I've got my tablet set up right here.
Oh.
Okay. I will attempt to use art skills.
Okay. I'm excited. Okay.
Wait, no,
We're
you're
going
muted.
normal.
You're muted.
Wait, are we supposed to be?
I mean, you may have to do it yourself. So
Is this
just
like
keep that in
story
mind.
time?
We alternate between the story and the picture.
Just do what's on this, what it says.
Somebody
Yeah,
has
write
to
a
draw
sentence.
whatever you're writing.
Oh,
Write a story. Real
I
quick.
forgot to tell you, you've almost
Too
got
late
no
now.
time left.
you have negative time.
Oh my god!
There we go. I got
Who
this.
is taking
This
this love
works.
story and making it so ugly?
Oh my god. I
Okay.
can't draw.
No, it's okay.
Bing. They actually aren't, but okay. I'm just saying.
This works.
Less than half the time remains.
Oh, you keep it to yourself.
No, it works. It works. Okay.
Is it working?
It's working.
Is it worth it? Let me work.
It's working. Okay. Yeah. Wait, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go like that. All right, we have this. There. Okay. Works. Okay.
Oh! I didn't spell her properly. I didn't do it properly.
No! No.
I couldn't draw
Yeah,
her.
good luck with that. I did not do well, but hey, good times.
Okay. This works.
If in doubt, annotate.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. This is interesting.
Okay, that's not going to make any sense to anyone. I'm sorry, everyone.
I think it's. I could be wrong. I think this is correct.
What?
All right.
Okay, I
Okay.
think this kind of makes sense.
All right. Here we go. No. Wait. There we go.
I'm doing this. I'm being cryptic.
No. Wait. We go back. We go there.
About 1/4 of the time is going.
What is into space?
Oh.
Sounds like space, all right.
That doesn't sound like
I
it.
feel like we're traveling.
Yeah.
Can you guess where we're traveling?
Locally, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Oh. Then no. No, I can't. Oh. Seems so obvious now.
Okay, this is driving, but I'm not
Got
going
a
to tell you.
tang to it.
What time of day would this driving be?
Afternoon delight.
Guessing. Come on, the sun's down by this point. I'm saying it's a dusk drive.
Night
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah. That makes sense. I see it. Yeah.
And just under half the time remains.
Oh wait, I want to see where the space song goes.
About 1/4 of the time remains.
Shame. If anyone's watching, they're hopefully gonna. Ooh, no. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. No, I won't.
There we go. I did it without cheating, I think. Oh.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
There. Wait.
Oh,
No. Dang it.
Dang, I needed
that
like
last
3 more
word.
seconds.
What?
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I need references.
Supposed to be-
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Wow, I just read that completely wrong. Starting over with
I read
about a fifth of the time gone.
Okay,
Thank you,
here we
Ben.
go.
Big Ben.
You're welcome.
Ben,
Wait, no.
Big Ben.
What happened to the music? Oh, it's not looping. Beep, 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 beep. I'm doing the singing, don't worry. Beep, beep,
Perfect.
beep, 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 beep.
No. Yeah, we're gonna go with this.
Beep, 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 beep. Lee, 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 lee.
No. No.
Oopsie.
There we
No.
go.
No.
Just about half the time remains.
Sorry, I just found
Okay.
the most. I've been
No.
so annoying to myself lately. You have no idea.
No, I know.
It's like you do know,
Has an
yeah.
idea.
You do have an idea now.
Hmm.
You still don't. That's how bad it is, though. You still don't. You thought you knew. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Fine. We gotta.
About a third of the time remains.
Yeah.
Don't remind me this shit. Sometimes it's very good. Sometimes it's shit. Today it's shit. No. Okay. There. Sometimes it's very
I'm
good.
not very proud of
sometimes-
myself on this day.
Same. Ah!
Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Not really. No, not at all.
Not really.
Okay.
Hey, we got 2 more rounds to make it perfect.
Oh!
Wow.
What?
Oh, why?
Okay. That one was great. That one's great. Who invited Timepiece Gray? Timepiece Gray invited himself. No, I could leave it. I could
There you go.
complicate.
Okay.
What?
I love this. This
is
is a
Lord-
fun prompt.
All right.
I think I can do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope. I
can do
don't.
this at all.
Nope.
I refuse. I refuse.
All right.
Excuse me while I
Okay.
kiss
I'll
this
try. I'll try. All right.
Which guy?
This guy.
Oh.
Pay attention.
This is horrible. I hate this. Thank you.
Reach.
I hate everything about it.
Surely not everything.
No, it really is hard.
Okay.
What the fuck, Sincere? Why?
Okay. We're just gonna. Yeah. But there.
I honestly think that
Nope.
something's happened to me. Maybe I've hit my head. This is worse than I've ever been. Something's up, man.
Okay. There's that, and then.
I'm sorry to hear
Really
that.
bad. I really don't get it. I don't know why I've gotten so bad. Like, this is worse than usual.
But you're just talking art skills, right? Like,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I'm sure you're fine. Oh no, like a quarter of the time remains.
Ah.
See, you need the timekeeper.
There. Okay.
Oh god, this is not going well. Okay, that. How will anyone know what this is?
Ray should turn into have a clock draped over him or something when we play. Or he should have a
working on it.
There we go.
Okay.
God, I hate this. I can't wait to see Darling's pictures. That's all.
Yeah.
Tate can't find her pen.
There. Nice.
I drew a pencil though.
Peter being confused that annotation is banned.
Words? No words?
Okay, I like that.
Tate doesn't understand words in Gartic.
I mean,
oh no!
Wow!
No.
Nice.
Cut the Finch gave you
Charlie
though.
Chaplin thinks about words.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great.
That's a good description of me.
That's so good. That's
what
good.
for words? No, must. No mustache.
That's pretty awesome.
No mustache.
Oh, so good.
Hold on, it's gonna be
The
put
question
in the
mark. I like the call out to the mustache. What?
There's no mustache. I'll tell you about it. Okay.
Viking penguin funeral.
Oh.
I know what this ends up being.
Okay. That's a very good.
Blackbird man sees boat on fire in lake.
I mean, it still works.
Castaway Gray.
Castaway Gray.
Oh,
nice.
That is kind of awesome. I love that.
Ray and Skullfriend are stranded on an
Skullfriend.
Yes, I love my skull friend.
There you go.
dragon flying through the sky.
I can see why.
Oh.
Wow. That's cool.
I'm
That's
sorry.
how it's done.
Dragonfire above the clouds. Sky. 2.
That's how it's done.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Darling,
Fire
yes.
breathing red dragon soars through sky. Clouds.
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 Nice. Oh, that's so good.
Sick flying dragon. Pun intended.
I like it. The green adds the flair.
Yeah.
He's sick, you see.
Launching the sick down below.
We lost the sky. Look how beautiful that was. Charlie did a really good one, and then there's me. Hey, at least we got back to green.
Well, you had significantly less time.
And we got back to green, though. Hey.
Yeah.
That's what he became. Sorry.
The best part of waking up.
I think I know where this goes, and I'm sorry, everyone.
Coffee.
Groggy fox drinking his morning coffee.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
As if for drinking coffee as he lays dying.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Clifford the big red dog drindles coffee.
Drindles coffee.
So we still got the coffee. This is good.
Wow.
Coffee has not left.
It's great. And he's cool about it, too. I'm drinking my coffee. Oh, that's good. That turned out okay. Okay, cool.
The emo getting buffaloed.
Oh, no.
I I like it, but I don't
Cowboy
understand
handles
it.
a crab while experiencing anxiety.
While experiencing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay. I must have gotten this one, but I
Man
didn't
with
see it.
orange star on shirt shoots crab in confusion.
What?
Sure.
Inverted Adam shooting
Oh,
flaming
I see.
snail while screaming what?
Flaming.
I like the inverted atom.
While screaming what? Flaming snail.
Whale's got like he's a blue snail with like a whale tail ish thingy while being on fire.
And he's not saying what. I mean, he's saying more than what. He's saying what the fuck.
How many boobs fit in a jar?
Boobs. That's how you say boobs.
The age-old question.
Boob jar. Hi, Dorcas.
Dorcas says hi to the boob jar. Penis.
Oh,
That's
this makes so much more sense now.
All Sydney Sweeney in immaculate slash.
Gray boobette.
Whoops.
That's not the first time this makes an appearance. I saw
Yes.
damn near the same one coming up. Spoilers.
Facts.
Gray poopette in the Oval Office.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I can see it.
Great.
The office looks oval. We got the
This is Gray.
Okay, so
Minimalist.
then Kitty gave me this, and I'm like, well, I gotta make something. But so I was like,
Gray
okay,
boobette
gray.
covers the screen
Oh.
till there is no more room.
There you
Here it
go.
comes. Yep.
My
So this is the one
keyboard
that I
freaks out
saw.
on that
Gray
more.
calling out filthy Dagon gamers.
Oh, darling, that is
Nice.
um,
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
So good. What's great? Oh my god, that's the best. Hey, gamer.
Yeah, it
that's
is.
Gonna be out,
skiing?
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
sorry, that's gonna be
Nothing
our
at all.
thumbnail. That's gonna be our thumbnail.
Sami G ridding Sammy up the side of a wall. They
I
are
read
gay.
it wrong, so I didn't put the
Oh.
Sammy, and then I only put Sammy G.
I had a
then
prompt
afterwards.
which said quite the
Sammy
opposite.
climbs up a wall. Sami G rides Sammy.
No gay.
Yay!
No gay.
I thought it said not
Totally
gay. My
straight
bad.
snails banging upon a brick wall.
Benny.
Oh, interesting.
Sam
Oh,
the snail
darling's
smacking
awesome.
the wall in anger.
There we go. There we go.
This is pretty awesome.
I love that. Oh, good times. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. Good. That was a good one. And who Gartic phone gets just wait, where are we at our did I close my bingo card? No, it didn't.
No, but if it's tradition to do it literally every stream, you like this. That's like CinemaSins giving a ding for every intro. It's like the intro is going to exist.
Roll credits.
Yeah. Okay, well, I got bingo because Cameron did say that all wrenches are whatever our fab. Just hold on, I'll show you.
Whatever.
But if anybody else got bingo, please do. You win. I don't know what you win, but you win. You're a winner.
Life.
You're a winner.
You're a winner. Big winner.
Just big winner of things, and great success. Yeah, there you go. So I won great success. There you go. See, I did it. We didn't put Barbie in. There's a lot of things we didn't do, guys. I feel we could have filled this whole.
What's OFAB?
It's all wrenches, except for Lucy, are bastards.
Oh.
Yeah.
True-ish.
Oh, Flab. Got it.
Flab, yeah. So guys, let's get on to the goodbye things.
So I'm going to tomorrow. I'm going to go over a video on Stellar Blade. I've played a lot of it, so I feel like I understand it a lot. And there's this one guy who gives it's a pretty bad review of the game, and I see what he's tracking, but I feel like he's being overly cynical. And not only that, but I feel like his preferences, his bias for what he prefers in a game is really distorting how good or bad the game is. I am pro Stellar Blade. He is anti Stellar Blade. Just in case you were wondering there.
So you are going to do a response video tomorrow. Well, just response stream.
Yes.
Okay. And you will also be on Rosales' stream on Sunday again? You did
That
dip
is
out
the plan.
last time.
Yeah, there were bulls in my yard.
I mean, the same problem we all deal with on a day-to-day business.
Yeah.
How did you remove the bulls from your yard, out of curiosity?
The owner came and got them.
That would help.
Wait, literal bulls?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Metaphorical.
Here, I will get you.
Bullshit.
There was some of that involved.
There might have been, but they did not stay long enough. All right.
Doesn't take that long.
Okay. Here we go. Well, no, keep going. Do your thing.
Okay, cool. Cool. So we'll be on Rosales' show on Sunday, hopefully. And then what else? Oh yeah. I'm continuing with my June thing once next week. Also premiere on Sunday with Dorcas and I, No One Asked You podcast. That's still occurring. And then that's it for me. Charles and then Gray.
I'm probably going live later after these people have played tonight. I've been kind of cranky in public, and I just wanted to address it. And speaking of which, you can watch me be cranky about Unfrosted. That is up. Enjoy.
Okay, so we'll have the full review available on Will's Video.
It's there now. It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes of me saying, "Who is this for?"
Just why?
I watched it. I agree with your assessment.
And you could look at the comments where people just say, "I'm 70 and it's awesome."
There
you
go.
You got your, and so therefore you got to take your video down. Okay.
I do. I guess it would be considered bad faith because I use a little tiny thing out of context with Seinfeld talking about the left wing, and then I play a clip of the movie. It's very uncontroversial and shenanigans. But that's how you get traffic, baby.
Yeah, just be controversial. That is it. That's how you do it. And Gray?
Yeah. Should have stuff soon. Something real fun is coming back very shortly. So yeah, other than that, nothing really. Check out Rosales' thing, and then yeah, that's it. Good times. Things.
Sweet.
Mainly been working on the jar issues,
Foxroo posted the bulls in a Thinker DM group. Oh, DM
no!
group.
What are you
Sorry,
saying?
no.
No one else can see that.
No, I thought you were saying that you posted the bulls in the thinkers. I'm sorry about that.
Well, you don't need to continue talking about something they can't see.
Abort.
Okay, I thought you were gonna send it.
No.
Just
Abort.
crop something. Okay, sorry. Anyway, that's it. We're done with the think. Here we go. Have a nice laugh. Here you go.